down the street, people looking at me, and I don't really care.
Yes, man.
Cause I'm living rent free. Yeah, I said I'm living rent free. Yeah, I said I'm living rent free.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they say, cause I'm living rent free. La la la, can't nobody bring me down. La la la, standing tall and proud. La la, living life how I wanna. La la la, can't nobody tell me I can't. I got my crew with me, we're unstoppable. Making moves and achieving the impossible. Haters wanna hate, but we don't listen. We gonna keep doing what we do and keep winning. Life's too short to be living in fear. Gotta take chances and persevere. Don't let nobody hold you back, keep pushing forward. Stay on track, don't make me have to play it back. I'm living rent free.
Yes.
I'm here to stay.
Welcome.
Don't waste your time. You thinking you can evict me? No, I'm taking up space. Cause that's what I'm starting. Feeling good, everything's alright. I got my feet high, and I'm shining all bright like a light. People looking at me, and I don't really care what they say. Cause I'm living rent free.
Yes.
Rent free. Yeah, I said I'm living rent free. Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
Cause I'm living rent free. La la la.
Welcome. You know what we're doing here. Oh yeah, welcome to a special edition of, the Closet of Truth. How you doing, brother Anthony? How you doing, champ? Yeah. So, Little Miss Know-It-All, nice to see you. Welcome to the Closet of Truth, ladies and gentlemen, where we get Zeus to come from behind the desk a little bit and get out here and get down and dirty with MAGA. Oh yeah. Couple of things have been happening out here. Yeah, I'm double dipping. A couple of things been happening today. And I wasn't going to get in the Closet of Truth, but I'm going to. Good morning, Mags. Yeah, hello, Kibby. Nice to see you. I'm going to get in the Closet of Truth because I can't let it slide. Many of you know how I feel about what happened on January 6th, right? And yet and still, Donald Trump and his supporters refused to take accountability for what happened on January 6th. So, once again, I'm here to remind these folks what happened. So we know Donald Trump instigated an attack on the United States Capitol by summoning a mob of supporters of his, to go there and supposedly stop President Joe Biden from being the president. They did. Wow. I know. No, I'm not lying. This is facts. This is real. All right. No reason. I have no reason to lie to you. They call me Triple H. And they call me Triple H because the first H stands for honest. I'm the most honest person out here on social media. Why would I get on TikTok, out of all places, to lie about this stuff? Do you know how wild that sounds for me to get out here and start lying to you Trump supporters? Cut it out. And so one of the things that happened was this guy right here, Ray Epps, in full MAGA gear. Behind him is a American flag. Yeah, that's Ray Epps there at the Capitol on January 6th. And if you go watch these videos, I had a lot of discussions with Trump supporters about Ray Epps and what exactly he did. Now, you'll watch the videos with Ray Epps in it, and you'll hear them chanting, feds, right? They think Ray Epps was a plant from the FBI, right? And so along those lines, Ray Epps has been targeted by Donald Trump supporters and Fox News, right? He's been targeted by Donald Trump supporters and Fox News as an informant for the FBI. And so he's gone into hiding, ladies and gentlemen. He's been in hiding, him and his wife. And by the way, he's a former Marine, right? He's a former Marine who somehow found himself possessed with a MAGA demon, all right, only to find that Donald Trump's MAGA possessed demons would eventually turn on him by referring to him as feds and threatening him, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they And so there's a lot of misinformation going on, right? You have former officer's son. He was there today in front of Congress. You know, they had a committee, and he was talking about what happened on January 6th too. And so there's two things. One, they say Ray Epps was the feds. And two, they're blaming January 6th on Nancy Pelosi. So that's why I said I got to get back out here and I got to talk to all of these MAGA possessed people, all of my friends, to make sure we get this straight. So today it was announced that Ray Epps, a former Marine who became the target of a January 6, 2021 conspiracy, has been charged with a misdemeanor offense in connection with the United States Capitol riot and is expected to plead guilty. What do you have to say about that, you Trump supporters? Huh? What do you have to say? So is he still someone you would call a feds? Huh? This is the question. I'm not spreading misinformation, Jeremy. I'm being real honest with you, all right? So the question is, how is Ray Epps connected to Nancy Pelosi? Right? Jeremy, you can say I always spread misinformation, but that doesn't mean you're telling the truth. How is Ray Epps connected to Nancy Pelosi? See, I thought we were going to get Biden's DOJ. You know how they talk about President Biden's DOJ. I thought we were going to have the smoking gun evidence that Ray Epps and Nancy Pelosi, they were all in this together, but we didn't find that out, ladies and gentlemen. All we are getting is a misdemeanor offense, ladies and gentlemen, for trespassing. Wow. It gets worse, right? And part of this is because you know, it all started with a network called Fox News. How many of you know what Fox News is, right? How many of you know what Fox News is? Tucker Carlson seems to be the one who started this rumor, or he at least gave it wings, all right? And now it's gotten to the point where we thought, ladies and gentlemen, Ray Epps definitely was going to be found to be part of BLM. We thought he was going to be found to be part of Antifa, but we haven't found any such evidence. All we're getting is that he was there on January 6th. So listen up, Trump supporters. I got questions. I really do. Why is Ray Epps? How come there's no evidence linking him to Nancy Pelosi, huh? Anybody out there want to answer? Huh? Anybody out there want to answer? That would be a great answer, a great question, all right? Along those lines, I want to make sure, hold on one second, hold on. I got to check my notes. Hold on one second. Hold on. I got some more notes. Hold on. Oh, yes. We got more information about this Capitol attack, all right? All right. Michael's son, he's there testifying in Congress, right? And you know they try to blame it on Nancy Pelosi, and he was there in Congress testifying, and he said that he spoke to Nancy Pelosi 3 times. Do any of you still think Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the attack on the Capitol? Do any of you still think Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the attack? Going once, going twice. I don't think you do. Listen, most people who have been following what happened on the Capitol, we all know Nancy Pelosi didn't plan this attack. We all saw the former president, Donald Trump himself, try to blame Nancy Pelosi for what happened on January 6th. So my new thing now, the new thing I think is something I got to bring up. A lot of Trump supporters are afraid to admit that they're really Nancy Pelosi supporters, right? I think this is what this is turning into, as far as I'm concerned. Hold on. There's a lot of Nancy Pelosi supporters. They were all there on January 6th to see Nancy Pelosi. Oh my gosh. So I learned today that the Virginia state troopers, they got there before the National Guard. This is according to the chief officer of the Capitol on that day, all right? And there was Mr. Michael Irving, all right, who for some reason was supposed to tell Nancy Pelosi, that the National Guard was needed, but he never seemed to be able to do that. So I learned that today. I also learned that for some strange reason, there were restrictions placed on the National Guard. Yeah, they weren't allowed to carry weapons or shields or anything to make them look combative. And you got to ask yourself, who were these directives coming from? And it all links back to you know who, Donald John Trump. Yeah, yeah, and there was an interesting thing, right? Because you know the National Guard, they got to answer to the Pentagon, and we all know who's in charge of the Pentagon. Well, it's the President of the United States, right? So this is where we're getting, and they also said the Insurrection Act. You know, they said the president was concerned about having the National Guard there that day because he didn't want to invoke the Insurrection Act. And I said, well, wait a second. Where else have we heard the Insurrection Act? And I said, oh, yeah. If you go read Jack Smith's indictment, you'll know that the Insurrection Act was mentioned in there as well. So if you can connect the dots, you know these Trump supporters, they're conspiracy theorists and they love conspiracies. If you could connect the dot, MAGA, then you know, just like I know, that Donald Trump single-handedly willed all of his supporters to be at the Capitol on January 6th, all right? He stoked violence in them, okay? He tried to get them to do all he could to stop Mike Pence from certifying those votes, all right? He didn't want Mike Pence to count those votes. You know what he did? He called Mike Pence a P word. Yeah. He threatened members of Congress. He did. You got Kevin McCarthy, who gave a bunch of statements placing the blame for those MAGA supporters on January 6th. He placed the blame right there on Donald Trump. And yet and still, you Trump supporters, you will not take ownership for what you did on January 6th. This is why I'm going to keep bringing down this heavy hammer of truth in the closet of truth, all right? So now you know where I stand, and I'm going to open up the box. Hello, Gina. Nice to see you. You know where I stand. I'm going to open up the box, and I'm going to talk to those of you who are brave enough to tell the truth. As far as I'm concerned, you Trump supporters, I would love for you to explain Ray Epps to me. If you think I'm making this stuff up and you think Ray Epps is FBI and feds, I would love for you to explain to me how Ray Epps is working for BLM, how he's working for Antifa, how he's working for the FBI, and how he somehow managed to somehow become a MAGA supporter. All right. I would love to hear that story. All right. And I would also like to hear how Donald Trump was not involved with January 6th. For some strange reason, on his Twitter account, he advertised the day January 6th be at the Capitol. But for some strange reason, he had nothing to do with all of you who get on TikTok and say, I was there on January 6th. By the way, are there any Trump supporters that were on the Capitol on January 6th? Any Trump supporters that went to the Capitol on January 6th? By a show of hands, any of you here today? Because you know they like to get in my live and they like to brag and say, hey, I was at the Capitol on January 6th. Any Trump supporters? Any Trump supporters that went to the Capitol on January 6th? Would you like to tell Zeus exactly what went down? All right, I'm going to bring up my first. I don't want to talk to Zeus. I guess they're afraid. Greetings, Eddie. How are you doing?
How you doing?
All right.
They've gone
How are you doing,
insane,
champ?
son.
Huh?
Yeah, they've gone insane.
They are? Are you talking about Donald Trump supporters?
Yeah, MAGA.
Oh. Yeah. When do you think they went insane, though, Eddie? I mean, let's just
When
be
they
honest. They've been insane.
when they
Huh?
support a treasonous traitor, dirtbag like Trump.
Yeah. He is a treasonous traitor. Yeah. What do you think that makes them? And yes,
Treasonous
most
traitor
MAGA.
followers.
Huh?
Treasonous traitor followers.
Yeah.
And why?
Treasonous.
Why would you do
Yeah.
that?
Do you
I
think they
don't get
should
it.
be able to label themselves patriots like they like to proclaim?
No, they're not patriots. If they were patriots, they would stand with all Americans and call him out for what he is: a
Mm,
grifter, a liar, and a cheat.
yeah, yeah. No lies detected. No lies detected. Do you notice that they have a hard time accepting responsibilities for what they've done? Do you notice that pattern? Like for
Yeah,
instance,
and,
they do a lot of terrible and nasty things, right?
yeah, they threaten
Yeah.
people.
Mm.
They threatened a lot of people in Georgia and ruined a couple of persons' lives over lies of Donald Trump when she knows and has admitted to that he
Hmm.
lost.
Mm.
You know,
Wow.
so
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. No lies detected, Eddie. I mean, and I have to agree with you about this because so many times they reach out to me and they tell me, Zeus, you're a mean person, you're a bad man, and you have to think to yourself, are you talking about me or are you projecting? Because last I checked, you keep filling up our headlines with bad behavior, crimes, and stuff like that, right?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they got fealty to one man. What is up with that? I mean, he's just one person. Why do you
Mm,
support just the one person? We don't support Biden. I don't have Biden merch. I don't have. I just voted for Biden because he was a better choice than Trump. Do I want
right.
somebody different? Hell yeah, but I don't run political parties. That's for the politicians. So I can't
Do you
make
have a
the
pickup
decision who
truck?
runs next time.
Do you have a pickup truck, Eddie, that has Biden all over it, or
N-
anything like that?
No, I don't.
Obama, possibly.
I don't have any stickers on my vehicle for anybody.
Yeah,
My
just a
truck's not an
regular.
advertising uh, bay for politicians.
Ha,
That's not
have you
my
sent
job.
have you have you sent President Biden any of your money out of your 401k?
No,
Have you? Why not? Why
because I
not?
don't need. I believe that, really and truthfully, if we have to retire at 62 right now or 65, we need to come up with a rule that you can't be in federal office at that age.
Mm,
Because
yeah,
elections don't get rid of some overdue politicians like they should.
yeah, yeah. But
Because it's like Mitch
are you are
McConnell.
you are you
He stays
bringing
on the
up?
ballot because his name's so common. That's why he keeps winning. They don't know no better to vote him out.
Wow. Are you talking about Donald Trump or President Biden? Because you know how I feel about President Biden. All right.
I said no, Mitch McConnell. It's like they keep voting him
Oh,
in because he's just a known name in that state.
mm,
Biden. Like I said, if Biden and Trump are on the ticket, I'm voting Biden. I wouldn't vote for
God bless
Trump.
you.
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless
Well, it's a
you.
simple fact. I mean, I'm going to vote for my best interest, and Biden's doing a good job.
Well, a lot of these folks are crying about those egg prices and those gas prices, and there's
That was
this
a
there's this, huh?
that was an avian flu. They had to destroy half the birds in the United States. Half the chickens they
Oh,
had to destroy because of that avian flu. Okay, you want
yeah,
avian flu eggs? We can get you those for a penny a piece if you want them. Just
right,
don't
right.
cry to us when you get sick and die or pass away or get unalive.
Okay,
Oh,
but what about
unalive.
wait a second now. What about Ukraine? A lot of
Oh
people are
God.
upset. They say things like this. Biden is sending millions of dollars to Ukraine,
No,
but he's
sir.
not.
He is he is authorizing the sending of money. He doesn't vote that into. He doesn't have the power of the purse. That's called Congress and the House, or the House and the Senate. That's called Congress, and they decide where the money goes. And he says yes or no. And if they don't
Right.
like what he says, they can override his veto. So all Mr.
Mm.
Biden is his signature on the check that says, yes, go,
Word.
take the money. He didn't vote it
Mm.
into law. It is
Mm.
a
Mm.
bipartisan, everything's been bipartisan when it comes to Ukraine.
Right. But personally, on a personal level, brother Eddie, all right, before we wrap
Uh-huh.
up this great conversation, right, where do you stand? Are you okay with the way Biden is supporting Ukraine?
I have no problem with us supporting Ukraine. We had an agreement
Mm.
not to attack that country, and Russia was in on that agreement. And then they turn around and called, "No, we don't like this agreement no more. So we're gonna bomb your people in the middle of the night and take away unalive people that did nothing to attack Russia."
Got it. Okay. I mean,
Putin
I'm
is a war
asking you these
criminal.
questions. You know why I'm asking you these kind of questions? Because
Uh,
I want to make sure, we all kind of know what's going on, but I want to know where regular Americans like yourself stands on these
yes,
very, very important issues. All right. So I want to commend you for being very supportive of President Biden's leadership in terms of what he's doing in Ukraine. And in terms of how Biden is handling the economy, right? And we talked about those eggs. We talked about gas. How do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I
Oh,
don't
really
care about.
swerving.
I don't care about gas prices because guess what? I have no control over what corporations do. And last time I
Mm,
checked, neither does the president. We tried
mm,
to pass a bill to try to stop gas gouging, and guess what?
right.
The Republicans voted it down. It couldn't get through the
Mm,
House because it's held by Republicans. The Republicans don't care about
mm,
us. All they care about is
amen.
their rich buddies. And that's the fact.
Mm,
And just like Trump, he
mm,
loves his rich buddies and he wants to give them tax
mm,
cuts and charge us more on taxes. Our taxes went up in 2021, 2023, and 2025. And guess what? They're never going to change the tax code on the ultra rich because he made it permanent. So the only way for it to get changed is
ah,
for Biden to get Congress to get off their asses, and we need to get vote blue and take over both the House and the Senate and get it
amen.
done.
Amen. Amen. Listen, brother Eddie, I appreciate that truth you just dropped off here in the closet of truth. All right, my good friend.
Yes,
But I
sir.
gotta bring up some more guests, all right? Now a lot of
Yeah, go to
people
the next
I
guest, sir.
might
I
I might
appreciate the time every time. Let's get her done.
anytime.
Vote blue.
Let's
Vote
get her
blue.
done. Let's vote blue. And that's the
Yes,
great way to
sir.
wrap it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. Let's give Brother Eddie a round of applause. Vote blue. Democrats are not destroying this country. Donald Trump is. Like I've been saying, all right? If you want to know the best thing, if you want to know the best way to describe MAGA, just listen to President Biden.
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. They refuse to accept the results of a free election.
That's MAGA Republicans for you. Greetings, Brother Swerve. Welcome to the Closet of Truth.
Greetings, Zeus. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just talking about Ray Epps, who is entering into a plea deal, for trespassing on January 6th. Turns out he wasn't feds after all.
Get out of here. Stop it.
No, no, no. This word around town is he wasn't feds. His wife and him have been under death threats by MAGA. He went there to support Donald Trump. No ties to BLM or Antifa at all.
I was
Just a
sure
regular Trump supporter that's now going to prison or
I was
facing jail
sure he
time.
was working for the FBI.
I thought so too. I really did. Right?
I mean, after everything that I read and saw from right-wing media, I just knew he was working with the FBI or the
Right.
CIA. One of those three-letter agencies that was going to get him in trouble and then back out at the last minute.
Oh.
But I never heard that from any of the left-wing media.
Mm.
That's weird. I hope little Ray's gonna be all right. I hope Little Red
It
catches.
is quite a look at how they're doing. Look at how they're doing a former Marine who somehow fell in love with Donald Trump. Wow.
Yeah, that's weird. He's kind of sounds like he's kind of going the way of Ashley Babbitt, minus the
Yeah.
double backflip out of a window. Greg Louganis couldn't have pulled that off any better. But I
Hey,
want,
they get very triggered when you say things about their co I don't know what you want to call them. Their fellow soldier, Ashley Babbitt, the one that was trespassing and trying to, attack the Capitol, They get mad when we talk about her.
yeah, she probably would have been all right if she'd have just complied. I'm
Absolutely.
just saying.
Yeah, yeah. And
I'm just,
it's so funny you said that because they always tell, people of color when they get, in trouble with law enforcement, they always say, if you would have just complied, he'd
yeah,
still be alive. You ever heard them say stuff like that to you?
yeah. Tamir Rice, he should have just complied.
Right. Right.
Trayvon Martin should have just complied. Even though
Right.
911 told George Zimmerman, don't follow him, leave him alone.
Mm,
So maybe
right.
George should have just complied. And
Right.
maybe had he done that, Trayvon Martin would still be alive.
Right.
It,
That's what they
it's
say.
it's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
wanted to give you a bit of breaking news. I don't know if you heard this or not. A
Talk to us.
former Donald Trump aide named Molly Michaels has
Oh, yeah.
testified to Jack Smith
Oh.
that she was told when they ask you about any boxes of classified documents, you don't know anything about them.
Hmm.
That's what
Yeah, I
she
heard about.
that's what she told Jack Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think Jack Smith is going to do with that information?
Oh, he's going to use it against him in the court of law. He's going to use it against because look, this dummy went
I
and gave
love
that
Jack.
interview on MSNBC, and if you listen closely to that interview, at least 3 times he incriminated himself,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
when he said that it was his choice to overturn the election. Um,
Oh,
so
he
he
didn't say it was
incriminated.
Nancy Pelosi's choice.
Well, when Nancy Pelosi came up, he was like, "I asked Nancy, and she refused this." And the reporter was like, "Well, wait a minute. You're the commander in chief. You're telling me the Speaker of the House has more authority than the commander in chief?" Which is what I've been saying.
Oh,
And he was like,
right.
well, look, you gotta understand, okay? What happens is I asked her if she wanted them there. She said no. Okay? She said no.
Oh,
And it
that's
said
one heck of a line. That's one heck of a line,
I'm like
Swervin. That's a heck
I'm
of a
like,
line.
dude, you still have more authority than she doesn't get to tell you no. You're the commander in chief.
Right.
She doesn't get to tell you no.
And let's be honest. When has he ever listened to Nancy Pelosi?
Never. Not one time has he listened to her. But
Now
this is the
all of
one
a sudden
time.
he on
Yeah, now
they
all of a
can't.
sudden Nancy Pelosi has more authority than the commander in chief. Give me a break,
Right,
dude.
and he
Like
listens
nobody's
to her.
buying off on your BS, brother. I'm sorry.
No,
It's too
no,
it's too expensive and you shouldn't be trying to sell it because ain't nobody buying it. But
absolutely
he's
no
he,
lies detected.
he wants to go to he wants to go to court and relitigate the 2020 election
All right,
after saying it was his choice
right.
to try to overturn it.
Mm,
Okay, I guarantee you, Jack Smith was sitting there with a pen and some paper. He had the remote
mm.
for the DVR, rewinding it, fast forwarding through the commercials, watching
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
thing, taking notes,
yeah.
and probably sitting there
Meticulous.
going,
No.
"Oh, I got his ass now."
Hmm. Just we
So,
got him right where we want him. Do you think Jack Smith or Fonnie Willis? Do you think they should put a gag on him, or do you think we should just let him keep talking?
well, Jack Smith, he submitted a filing to try to
Mm,
put some kind of gag order on him. I can't remember exactly what it said, but
right.
here's how stupid Donald Trump and his lawyers are. Jack Smith
Right.
submitted that to protect Donald Trump, so he would shut his mouth and stop incriminating himself.
Right.
And yeah,
That's a good. That's a good guy.
we do need some kind of gag order on him. So he just shuts up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just
Hmm.
needs to sit there and shut up. Okay, you got 91 pending felony charges.
What else
Whatever
is there
is
to
going to
say? When you
happen
got
is going to
91
happen.
charges, what else is there to say, right?
Yeah, but
What else is there to
like
say?
I'll put it to you like this, Zeus.
Oh my
In
God.
2020, Donald Trump, as the president, the commander in chief, lost the White House, the Congress, and the Senate all in one fell swoop. Then in
Wow.
2022, there was no red wave. They ended up with a 5-seat majority, and that was it.
Wow.
Are you tired of winning yet, struggles or snuggles?
Ah!
Are you tired of
Ah!
winning yet? All these people who've gone to jail for this man behind January 6th, all the ones who've been indicted behind this man, are you tired of winning yet? You think you won because
Yeah.
there's no convictions? But we got docket numbers. You can't show us one docket number on Joe Biden.
Not
But
one.
but you do want to sit there and say, well, yeah, you might have docket numbers, but we don't have any convictions, so I'm still winning. No, you're not.
Oh,
He sat
no,
there
you're
and
not.
tried to say that Fox News won because they didn't have to pay out the full $1.3 billion, and that was
Oh,
they
oh,
they ended up paying. In what world do you write a check for $787 million and that's a win?
that ain't a win.
Zeus,
That's not.
imagine if
That's.
you had to write a check for $787. You'd be mad.
Oh, I better be getting what they call returns on investments if I'm writing a check like that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't got that kind of money, but even if I did, I think it would hurt if I had to pay that kind of money on behalf of Donald Trump. That would
Oh, it's
just
gonna
really make
definitely
me.
sting. It's gonna definitely sting. And if I had to write a check for $787 to somebody and I felt
Mm,
like I didn't do anything wrong, I'd be mad
right,
about it. They had to
right.
write a $787 million check, and somehow that was a
Millions.
win. They won. They yeah, they may not have lights on floors 2 through 19, but they won.
Oh, oh,
Really? They
wow.
may not they may not have working water on
How,
floors 25 through 35 at Fox headquarters, but they won. Really?
hmm.
They
They
can't
this
even pay
they
their bills no more.
they have an interesting imagination when they say they won. If in your opinion, and I got to ask these questions now because we're getting closer and closer
Go
to
ahead.
and so I want to check people's temperatures to see where they stand on these issues. All right, now, uh, in terms of President Biden's support of Ukraine, what is your opinion, or how do you feel about that?
Well, it's not just President Biden's support on Ukraine. You have
Right.
Republicans in the Senate and you have Republicans in the Congress who also
Indeed.
support Ukraine. Okay,
Hmm.
so it's not just President Biden. You have
Well,
American.
I say it like that, and you can continue down the way you're going, but I say it like that because there's this narrative out there, folks are saying Biden is sending all this money to Ukraine and he's not doing anything to help Americans. So I want to make sure in your response you touch on all of that if you don't mind.
And it's just a false narrative. Okay, that's a complete
Mm,
and total false narrative.
mm,
One, Joe Biden is not. They make it seem like Joe Biden is writing a check, we're printing money, and then dropping pallets of cash over Ukraine. That's not
right.
happening. We have
Oh,
we have the American public who has
oh.
support for Ukraine. You have Republican senators and Democratic senators who support Ukraine,
Mm,
as well as in the Congress. You
mm,
have Republican and Democratic Congress people who support Ukraine, right? And
mm.
so we are actually sending money, we are funding weapons manufacturing here in this country,
Okay.
keeping people
Okay.
employed, and then we're
Mm,
sending those weapons to Ukraine.
mm.
So in supporting Ukraine, Joe Biden is going to keep up his support as the president of this country. I think Joe
Right.
Biden is going to continuously keep up that support,
Good.
because that's going to rally a lot of American people behind him, saying, you know what, we're tired of seeing missiles fired in the hospitals by Russia. We are tired of
Right.
seeing missiles fired in the elementary schools by Russia. And then Russia's sitting there
Okay.
and lying, going, we don't target those places. We do not
Hmm.
target, we will not target
Well,
elementary school. Is potato.
and
No,
those are flat out lies. And I was
we know they're
watching
lies. We've
some of
seen the
these.
destruction.
Yeah. Now,
We've
in
seen,
terms of you personally, though, so you're okay with what Biden is doing in terms of supporting Ukraine?
oh,
You're okay with
absolutely.
it?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
I am
too.
100, I am 110% okay with it, because
Okay.
I've seen
That's what
humanity
I
at its
wanted.
very
I mean,
best.
I'm okay with it too. I'm okay with it too. But I was just curious if you felt a certain type of way about that because maybe the gas prices or the egg prices or your 401k and stuff like that. So you're totally okay with the way Biden's running his operation in Ukraine, right?
I am, not only am I okay with the way things are going in Ukraine and the support that we have for Ukraine, but I
Right.
am 110% okay with the way things are going in this country, because
Wow.
we have Joe Biden has hit 3.4% unemployment twice, and Donald Trump's was only 3.5, and they sit there and say, well, we had the lowest unemployment rate in history. That's
Hmm.
not true, because Joe Biden got it. As far as gas prices, whatever's going on in
Thank you.
Ukraine, it has no effect on gas prices here in this country or anywhere else in
Hmm.
the world for that matter.
Got
It
it.
just doesn't. But
Oh,
the thing of it is, Zeus,
talk to me.
Joe Biden could order up, every American gets $1 million tomorrow,
Hmm.
and they would sit there and they would take that check, they would cash it, and then still talk trash about Joe Biden. They just don't want to
I'm
give
trying.
him a win of any
I'm trying
kind.
not to laugh, but you're spot on. Yes, I don't think there's anything President Biden could do to help to stop Trump supporters from crying. I don't think there's anything he can do.
Exactly.
That
And
he
one of those people who got that $1 million, they would be the first ones to sit there and go, well, I took that $1 million and that just raised inflation all over the country. So we needed that $1 million. And if you understood what Joe Biden was doing, you know what you were talking about. And you need to do your research. Hunter Biden's laptop, Hillary Clinton's emails, Joe Biden crime family, Herschel Walker's fake badge, American Eagle ball, apple pie. Look it up. Do your research. And they will never give Joe Biden a win for anything. We just got five
they will.
Americans back. We just got
You're
five
referring to
Americans
the
back.
Iran thing, right? You're
Yep, we
talking
just
about
got
those
five
prisoners in
Americans back,
Iran.
and they sit there going, "Well, we paid for them." No, we didn't. No, we
Wow.
didn't. We gave them back their own money, which was actually in North Korea, and that money,
Cut it out.
that $6 billion went to Qatar, to a bank in Qatar. Whereas if they write a check for that money, they have to report to Qatar as to where it went.
Mm,
Pure and simple,
mm,
or they'll seize it again.
mm.
So no matter what happens, they'll never give Joe Biden a win.
Okay, well,
Not one
there's a
single
couple more,
time.
and then there's a couple of more of these
No,
questions, all right? But I appreciate your ability to just answer these questions very direct because there's a lot of hemming and hawing out here.
oh,
You
I
know,
ain't got nothing to hide, Zeus.
neither do I. And most people know I'm a Democrat mainstay, as they say. So I'm not afraid either. But when you ask these questions of Trump supporters and MAGA Republicans and things of that, they can never give you direct answers. So I definitely I appreciate that.
Yep.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you on a question about was these there's talks about how Biden's response is to his son, who's currently been indicted. Do you think President Biden is responding to his son being indicted appropriately? Do you think he's not doing enough? Should he's doing too much? Where do you stand on that?
No, I think Joe Biden needs to just stay out of it completely. You know what?
Hmm.
Your son made his bed. Now he's got to lie in it. And whatever happens, like, it's been 5 years that they've been trying to find dirt on a crackhead.
Right.
Joe Biden could easily intervene and say, you know what, we're going to brush this under the rug. But Joe Biden's just
Right.
not that kind of guy. I'm sure he's
Hmm.
called his son and said, you know what, son, you got some problems coming down the pipe. But I'm always be here for you because I love you. Even when you were having your
Right.
problems with addiction, I was still here for you to try to help make sure you got the help you needed. But he's not intervening
Wow.
in this case. And I don't think Joe Biden will make any public statement concerning his son because it's
Wow.
just, to me, it's not his place to talk about his son's legal troubles because it has nothing
Wow.
to do with the government because Hunter Biden is a private citizen. Okay.
Hmm.
And if Hunter Biden was, let's say Hunter Biden was in Joe Biden's cabinet as, I don't know, Secretary of Commerce, right?
Right.
Then maybe Joe Biden could say something about it. But he's not, his son not being in the government. I think Joe Biden is doing the smart thing by not responding to it. I know a lot
Good.
of people want him to respond, but I think he's doing the right thing by just not responding to it, not giving the right wing any kind of fodder for their cannons.
Fair enough. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate that. All right, Brother Swerve. We're going to try to bring up some more people and hopefully have more of these conversations in the closet of truth. All right.
Not a problem, my friend. You enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll let you get back to attending to the affairs of the kingdom, as I know only you can. And to
Thank you.
all my
Thank you.
friends and family down in the chat, you all have a great evening. And I will see you later, Mr. Zeus. You be good and be safe, brother.
All right. I will be back tomorrow morning bringing down that heavy hammer of truth in the morning, at the morning show. All right.
You know I'll be there.
All right.
I gotta find me a new cereal. But
I,
I'll see you,
I,
Zeus. Be
I,
good, brother.
all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Swerving, right? That's an amazing. See. What we get to in the closet of truth is we get straight down to it. What's really going on? What's really affecting folks out here? All right, and so Swerve is just another person out here who's very happy about what President Biden is doing. Hello, Michelle. Long times no see. Very happy about what President Biden is doing. He's aware of inflation that's going on. He's completely aware of the situation this country and this world is in, and yet and still he supports President Biden. And I threw a tough question at him about Hunter Biden, his own son. And I agree with Swervin. It's good that President Biden isn't even getting in the middle of his son's legal affairs. He's committed to doing the job. All right, so let's see. Who else do we have out here, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Good afternoon. Sherry, welcome. How are you doing?
No, 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 no. I didn't mean to do anything. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
typing something to somebody. I don't want to do this.
Okay, yeah.
I don't
All
even know
right.
what I did. Sorry.
I can no, I can help you out. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, give a good round of applause to the beautiful Sherry.
MAGA.
Give the beautiful Sherry. All right. She did a great job. Yeah. See, what we're getting at now, ladies and gentlemen, is we're trying to get to what's really happening in the minds of these Americans out here. All right, one caller at a time. Who do we got here? Oh my goodness, who do we have here? Stick the ruler. Greetings.
Hey, what's going on,
Stick
Zeus?
the.
Can you hear
What's
me?
going on, champ? Yes, I
Hey, how
can.
you doing?
How are you doing?
All
All
right,
right,
man.
this our
Hey,
first time doing.
yes, on live, definitely, but I watch you every day. But I'm ecstatic about I get to do my test. I'm ready for it.
You ready for the test?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, how you answer these questions determines your fate in the kingdom. All right,
Facts.
ready? All right, all right. You promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
I do. Let's get to it.
All right, good. All right. In your opinion, who did President Biden steal the 2020 election?
Did President Biden steal the 2020 election? I believe he stole the hearts and minds of the American people and got their vote.
Oh, okay. So, no, he didn't steal it from Donald Trump, correct?
Not at all. Not at all.
All right. Nope, not at all. No lies detected. You're doing great, Stick the Ruler. All right.
All right.
And listen, I want you to know people get mad when you tell the truth, but you're doing a great job and keep going. And my next question, who would you say, in your opinion, is responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th?
Let's see. The leader of MAGA, Donald Trump. Does that sound? That sounds about right, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
No lies detected. No, Nancy Pelosi's the wrong answer. All right, last and final
Definitely.
question. All right, and this one's going to come at you like a curveball. All right, so get ready.
All right.
In your opinion, is President Biden or Hillary Clinton guilty of any crimes?
There's no paperwork, correct? No indictments.
Correct. Nope. No, zero to indictment.
So my answer would be no.
Hey! Welcome! Real Americans giving truthful answers. I appreciate it. Listen, welcome to the kingdom, Stick the Ruler. How are you doing, champ?
All right, man. You know, I'm just living in my own skin. You know how it goes.
Yeah. What part of the country do you hail from, if you don't mind?
I actually hail
Northeast,
from
South?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, Louisville, Kentucky. Wow.
Yeah, but I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, wow. Wow. So listen,
Yeah, I'm laughing. That's how I handle pain. I laugh.
You got an interesting story, though, and I think you got a unique perspective based on all of the places that you've been, at least with those ones that you've mentioned. So where do you stand right now in terms of the world of national politics? I mean, I only really talk national because the local stuff, it gets a little restricted, right? So from the way you see it, how would you describe what's going on?
Well, the first thing I would say, in these days and times, common sense ain't so common. That's the first thing I would say. And the
Right.
reason I say that is because we have the side of this that kind of ticks me off, if I can say that,
Yeah.
is the evidence is coming out of your leader's mouth, is coming out of your representatives, your senators. I believe Nikki Haley just said something on the last debate about Biden has nothing to do with certain laws that are being passed. It was them that did it, the Republican Senate.
Yeah.
And that side has some issues with how things go. And they believe that one man has power to do all when we're a republic. Yes, we're a democratic republic or a constitutional republic and all of this other stuff. But that one man is controlled by those guys that are fussing in the House. And they're not just fussing at the other side, they're infighting over one man. And that's a problem. That's a problem.
Wow.
So I vote for my best interest. If that's one of the questions you were going to ask me.
Well, the next question that I was going to ask you is how would you rate President Biden right now? on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate him, Rick?
Well, let's be honest. I think
Hmm.
there's a saying going around. I'm thriving under Biden.
You said thriving under Biden.
I'm thriving under Biden. I think that's a saying now. Yeah, because
Oh, don't mute
a lot of
that,
people
Goose
don't.
Boss Diva.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. When you're
All right.
thriving under Biden, like
Hmm.
Snuggles, um, you tend not to want to be mad because I'll say this under Trump when he was trying to give everybody the little stimulus checks and all of that, we
Right.
were happy. Let's be honest, we were happy.
Mhm.
So now that not just a stimulus check, my whole life is thriving, not just a
Mm.
one time thing. It,
So,
it that
yeah.
weighs out better. Yeah, I'm just saying that
Mm.
weighs out better.
Right. Okay. So you're okay with how Biden is doing his job right now, is what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah, I think
Uh-oh.
Biden is doing a great job. Oh my God,
Hey, they having a
my
lot of
daughters are
fun
fighting.
over there. It sounds like a
Yeah,
hurricane.
my daughters are in there fighting. They're in there going
Uh-oh.
back and forth.
Uh-oh.
The
Uh-oh. I
little
get
one
it. I used
runs
to
the
do
big
that.
one. You know how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tea drinker. Nice to see you. But outside of that, you're saying you would give Biden a what? 0 out of 10. Where would you give him?
I would give him a 9.5. You know what I'm
9.5.
saying?
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
give him a 9.5. You know what I mean? I can't give
Nice.
him a perfect 10 because nobody's perfect. But a
Right.
9.5, if I was, next to Shaq or somebody like that in a dunk contest and he did a dunk, I give him a 9.5.
Right, right, right.
You know,
And
I
and
I
I
heard that he
see
rides bikes and stuff, and he probably can dunk too.
he rides bikes, he can dunk. Listen, what he did, would you say he did a pretty decent job cleaning up America after Trump? After Trump lost, he had to come in and fix a nasty mess. He got us out of the pandemic, right?
Well, I would say he had a good teacher, being that he was vice president under Obama. And Obama took us out
Oh,
of one. It was something that was probably even worse. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, it was real bad when Obama took over. So he had a good teacher. I believe now that the moves that he's making is in the best
thank
interest
you.
of the American people and not just one side of the party or the rich or whatever. He's looking out for the American people, period. So I would say he's doing
Wow.
an excellent job. He paid attention in class. And yeah, he didn't fall asleep. His name shouldn't be Sleepy Joe. Nah,
It really
far
shouldn't.
from it. Far
Hmm.
from it. I'll say this too about that. Uh, wasn't Joe Biden the guy that got them to vote on national TV about cutting Social Security?
Hmm.
Wasn't he that
I
guy?
remember that. Yeah.
I think he kind of like, okay, if you're not going to do that, then let's vote on it right now.
Hmm.
I mean, that's a poker move. I mean, man, that poker face
He
was
called their
strong.
bluff. He called their
Oh
bluff, right?
man. Oh man.
Let me ask you this though. Let me, before we wrap this up, I gotta ask you this. How do you in terms of eggs and gas prices, what you pay on your utility bill, the cost of food, has Biden do you blame President Biden for all of that, costing a little more?
Nah, I blame corporate greed. I blame
Okay.
capitalism, you know, and
Mm,
just for everybody that's listening on the MAGA side and the Democratic side, socialism
right.
has saved them in the sense of the capitalists at least twice in my lifetime.
Wow.
Socialism saved them during Bush when he had to bail out the auto industry and the housing market and anything else.
I
Then
remember that.
then
Yep.
yep, then we got Obama. He fixed it. He fixed it. Okay?
He did.
So then we get the bad 4 years with Trump. You know, he got the first 2 good years. Why? Because of Obama's economy. Does that sound right?
Thank you. That sounds
And
about right.
he didn't. I'll give him this. See, that I'm fair. I'm gonna be factual. He didn't mess it up.
Okay.
Okay. He didn't mess it up off the rip. He
Yeah,
went
he
in 2
didn't.
years like I'm still good. Like we're still good. I'll give him that. He
Right.
did not mess up what Obama left. But
Mm.
when COVID came, and that's all I'll say about that. When COVID came,
When COVID,
and the
so
lies.
you're saying he messed up with COVID?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like I'll give it to him. It's a big country, a lot of people, a lot of business.
Mm.
But man, like we went a whole year because he didn't want to do it for 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm.
We went a whole year. Just
Wow.
look, on this day, we're gonna shut down, go to the store now, buy what you need to buy, and this is how much you need for this much. We're gonna send out the vouchers or whatever you need to
Mm.
get to the store to get what you need. But
Wow.
we need you to do it now and start doing it now so we can close
Mm.
down in a week or whatever. And we're gonna
Mm.
from that day to 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out or whatever it would have been that they were first telling us, if we would have just did that, complete shutdown, stay home. If that's what you want, we can
Right.
do it.
Right.
But that wasn't the way it was handled. It was handled of we need to make the money and people weren't alive. And that's what he
Mm.
has to deal with. That's what he has to remember. And it's not going to go away just because you try to say I was the best president ever. It's not going to cover
It
up what
doesn't
you
work.
did, buddy.
It
Yep,
doesn't
yep,
work
it
like
doesn't.
that. Well, listen, stick the ruler. I appreciate you coming in and telling us that good old truth, and giving President Biden such a high rating, 9.5. All right, that's high. All right. But
Mhm.
I have to back you on that. It's kind of hard to say Biden's not doing a good job when you see all the significant legislation he's passed in such a small amount of time. All right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Now listen, keep on watching, brother, and I hope to hear you checking in again. You said you watched the morning show.
Oh yeah, I watched the morning show going into work and sometimes at work. You didn't hear that?
Okay. Okay. And I did too. What did he say? What
uh,
did he say? All right. Well,
exactly,
listen.
exactly.
Anytime,
I said
you're more
nothing.
than
I said
welcome to
nothing.
come to the box. You're
Hey,
more than
I'm
welcome to come to the
practicing.
box, Ken.
Oh,
Huh?
definitely, man. You'll see me when you see my name, stick the ruler, man. Please let me in there, man. I talk to you all day, give you the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me, God.
All right. All right. I will and I shall. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Stick, thank you so much. I'm going to bring up our next guest, and I appreciate you once again. All right.
All right, man. You keep doing what you do in this closet of truth, man.
Amen. Amen. I will and I shall. Give it up for Stick the Ruler. No lies detected. See, we got to have these conversations, ladies and gentlemen, because you read all these articles, you see what's going on TV, and you hear these people saying Biden's doing terrible. He's doing terrible in the polls. Everybody I've talked to in the closet of truth today, they've had nothing but praises for President Biden. And I know what you're thinking. You think I've coordinated with these people offline to do this? No, I'm not doing that. I'm just asking people how they feel about what's going on. And they're telling the truth. All right. Let's bring up our next guest. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? All right. G. Welcome, G. Nice to see you. I don't think you and I have done business anymore. Have we? Greetings, G.
How you doing, brother?
All right. How are you?
I'm excellent, man. You're a musician,
Oh,
huh?
all right. It's our first time doing business, right?
Yes, it is. You're
Right.
a
Well,
mu-
I got to ask you some questions. Right?
Sure, go
You
right
got a lot
ahead.
of background. You got a lot of background going on there.
I don't understand. Hang on.
Is it your headphones or? Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, that sounds a little better.
So
That sounds
go
a
ahead.
lot better. All right, are you
Okay,
there?
let's ask me. Ask away. Yeah, I'm
All
here.
right,
Go
all
ahead.
right. All right, that's better. All right, first question, and I ask most people, I ask everyone I've never done business with these questions, all right? And it's designed to make sure we all know where you stand on issues that matter in this kingdom. So the first question is, in your opinion, was the 2020 election stolen by President Biden from Donald Trump?
It's ridiculous. Of course not.
All right. Good answer. He said that's ridiculous, and I completely agree. Next question. In your opinion, who would you say is responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th?
Donald Trump.
Hey! No lies detected. All right, last and final question. It's going to come at you like a curveball. In your opinion, is Hillary Clinton or President Biden, are they guilty of any crimes?
Not legally.
All right. Zero convictions. All right, welcome to the kingdom. He's not lying. He's telling the truth. Leave him alone. All right, G. What do you got for us? We're talking today, Biden's poll numbers, they're questionable according to some sources. I hear a lot of people crying and complaining about the state of this country. And I'm just curious, where do you stand on things? All right. So one of the questions I'm asking is, where would you rate President Biden on a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
I give him an 8.5.
8.5.
But you have to understand, I'm grading that based on my whole life of being in front of presidents. I'm
Talk to us.
63 years old, so I've seen a few of them, right? I
What
think
what was that?
I said I'm 63 years old. I've seen a few presidents, so I'm grading him based on everyone I've seen,
Got
right?
it. Got
So
it.
I think the best president I've seen in my lifetime, based on his historical facts and historical figures, is John F. Kennedy. Second would be Barack Obama. Third would be um, uh, Bill Clinton, and fourth
Hmm.
would be Joe Biden.
Oh, I love it. Speak on it. Speak on it. All right. So, what would you say is the toughest thing President Biden has to do, during his presidency? What would you say is the toughest obstacle for him?
You know, it appears that he really doesn't have any tough obstacles in the sense that the Republicans have gone crazy. So they're like sprayed roaches. They're nuts right now. So he didn't really have to really deal with them. And I think
Hmm.
the biggest obstacle he faces right now is just making sure that all of the things that a serious president, I might add,
Hmm.
all of the things that a
Right.
president has to contend with on a minute by minute basis, making sure that he keeps all of those plates spinning on the sticks like a magician. I mean, or an act, right? Because there's a lot of stuff
Right.
going on, and if you're serious and you read your briefings every day instead of sitting on the toilet watching Fox News, and letting
Right.
people just do stuff around you, and you come in and say
Mhm.
something goofy. I mean, it's a look at how Barack Obama aged in 8 years. Look at how
Right.
much look at how much George W. Bush aged in 8 years,
It's a tough
right?
job. It's a tough job,
So
right?
it's a tough job. And again, you will never please everybody, so you don't try. But what you try to do is provide things for the entire nation that will advance the entire nation as a whole. You don't just say stuff based on your personal feelings and do stuff because you don't want to lose ratings. So you let a million
Right.
people so you let a million people die so you don't lose ratings, right? So,
Right. Genuine.
so I mean, I met Donald Trump, so I know he's dead from the chest up. I already know that.
Wait, wait,
So,
wait, wait, wait. You met Donald Trump?
yes, absolutely.
Oh, What year, if you don't mind?
Okay, it was. Let me see exactly. It had to be. It had to be 2001. I
Oh,
was.
2001, back
I was.
before all this MAGA stuff got
Yeah,
started,
yeah.
right?
I was playing with Jimmy Vaughn, and we played at the now defunct Taj Mahal. Which, on a side note, what kind of idiot do you have to be to kill a casino when the house always wins? You got to be a real idiot. But then if you look at everything he's ever done, he's never ever started a
Hmm.
business that succeeded. The only thing that
So,
has made
I take it you've never voted for Donald Trump.
no, of course not. Why would anybody do that?
Well, well, well.
He's
There's
a
a lot of people.
It doesn't matter what people do, bro. I don't focus on other people. My dad used to say it all the time, and Stick the Ruler just said the same thing. Common sense obviously ain't common because if it was common, everybody'd have it. What I
Right.
expect to see, what I expect to see in the next, I don't know, because he's not going. He's either gonna be in jail or fighting his way out of jail for the rest of his miserable life. But what I
You
do, and
think? Wait, wait.
he's say that again.
I didn't know. You believe he's going to go to jail?
Well, he's either going to go to jail. Now, jail for a situation like that is not like jail if you and I did something. It won't be that,
Correct.
right? But what it will
Yeah.
be is going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a low security prison for white collar crime,
Mm,
or because he has a technically he has a Secret Service detail that's supposed to be on him for life, unless they can prove him to be an actual traitor, and then all bets are off. But
right.
if he gets busted and actually gets some time, they may put an ankle bracelet on him and gag him where he can't really talk about anything. They just put him in Mar-a-Lago so that way his
Mm,
security detail can come and go. But
mm.
in essence, I mean, the United States, they might play games every now and then, but if you play too big of games, they're gonna make you win some big prizes. And this dude has played the ultimate bad hand. He's made the ultimate choices that will cost him his freedom one way or the other. We already know he's
Wow.
not a billionaire. We already know he's not a billionaire. We know that part. We know that he was bought and paid
Mm,
for by the mafia in New York. We know that when the mafia was brought down in New York, based on RICO, which is amazing, when the mafia was brought
right.
down in New York, the VIGs, if you will, that vacuum was taken up by the Russian oligarchs, headed up by
Mm,
he's owned and he's bought and paid for by Putin. He's been their mark forever. He's been
right.
their mark
Do
forever. And I
So
believe
so
this is
you so you believe that Donald Trump is going to go to jail, and I do too. And you also believe that there may have been something to the Russia collusion, because a lot of people to this day keep saying there was never any Russian collusion.
it was clearly Russian collusion. Don't forget,
Hmm.
um, the what's the man's name that was over the investigation? FBI guy.
Robert Mueller.
Mueller,
Mueller.
yeah. Mueller and
Bender.
Mueller and Giuliani are responsible for the New York Mafia being disbanded. And
Hmm.
understand, Trump has been an asset for the Russian oligarchy for several years. But the United States CIA and FBI allowed it to be because that way they kept tabs on Russia. That's why Russia
Hmm.
is sweating and sucking wind right now. Trump did his
Got
job.
it.
He's a useful mark, but it depends
Hmm.
on where he is. But he's still a mark. He's always been a mark. Sammy
Hmm.
the Bull Gravano. You heard that name, right? Sammy the Bull Gravano.
Yeah.
Sammy the
I've
Bull,
heard of him. I don't know him.
in his memoir, he was in the Gambino family. He was um, uh, the Teflon Don, the real Teflon Don. He
Oh,
was
oh, the
his,
real. Okay.
yeah, he was his main guy. Well, he wrote in his memoir that Donald Trump can't pour 1 gallon of concrete unless I tell him he can. See,
Wow.
everything that Donald Trump's family has was based on the mafia in New York allowing his father to do
Mm.
that. So when his
Mm.
father died and gave him money, he knew his son would just piss off money. So he gave him 400 million and said, go play in the sandbox. But what he kept on
Oh.
doing, he kept screwing up. And as he screwed up, he got to the point where he couldn't borrow a dime from any U.S. bank. So he went to Deutsche Bank, right? So now Deutsche Bank is in trouble because of all the stuff that he did. He owes the Russian oligarchy billions. He owes the Saudis
Mm.
billions. He owes China billions. That guy, I wouldn't want to be him on my worst day. But with that said,
Wow. So
he's
he's totally compromised in your opinion.
compromat, bro. It's all over for him. He knows it. He knows it. He knows it.
Mm.
And if he has to,
I
and he will, if he has to, he will turn state's evidence on everybody involved to try to stay out of
wow.
jail. So again, everybody's turning on him right now. But if you look at it from an esoteric standpoint, the
Mm.
universe is interesting in how it will cause people to reveal themselves over time. The wheels of
You're
justice
right about
always
that.
the wheels of justice might turn slow, but they always turning. Right? So
You're
the bottom line is that he's toast. He's done. Not only is he's toast, a sister, ironically, is going to be the one pushing down the toaster. But I think
Are
that
you
the
talking about
biggest
Bonnie Willis?
oh yeah, Fonny is going he's toasted, man. He's toasted, right? He's
Mm.
toasted.
Yeah.
So
Thank
he
you.
so but he's not relevant. To me, he's not relevant in any way, never has been, right? He's a
Irrelevant.
useful he's a useful idiot. But I will say this. My biggest concern, not fear, because I don't
Mm.
fear, my biggest concern is the thousands and thousands of people
Mm.
who are going to do one of two things. They're either going to stay in that MAGA QAnon cult thing to the level of drinking orange Kool-Aid and being unalived all out in the field somewhere, or a Hale-Bopp comet kind of deal like that,
Yeah.
or they're going to come to their senses and it's going to be such an abrupt turnaround. I don't know where that's going to go, but it's not going to be no kind of war because I mean, let's face it, all of the people who claim to be tough guys, right? The Proud Boys and all those people. What did they
Are
do
they
when the
tough?
FBI came to their front door? What did they do? They went peacefully. If I
You
believe
mean they didn't put those never surrender shirts
no, no,
on?
do none of that, they tucked their tail, put their hands behind their back, and now they're doing 22 years, 15 years. I know a brother. This is really crazy. I know a guy, a brother.
This is real spill. This is real spill, ladies and gentlemen. A
I
lot
know
of
a
these
brother.
people out here that talk that tough talk, when those DOJ and FBI officials and law enforcement shows up, all of that goes out the window. And when they get locked up, they giving it up easier. No loyalty. Trust me.
No. Hey, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
No
Everybody got a,
lies detected. No
no
lie.
lie
Well, listen,
detected.
brother G, I gotta move it on, my good friend. This is a great conversation. I feel like I could talk to you for hours. All right, but we
Musician,
gotta
right?
bring on our next. Huh?
Aren't you a rapper?
I do. Yeah. You can go find the
We should,
music. Just click
we
the
should
link in the
collab,
bio.
bro. We should collab.
Oh,
We should collab.
oh. Well, listen, the door's always open to collab as long as the music is right. All right, my brother.
You want a Grammy? Holler at
Let's
me. I got one.
All right,
We'll talk
listen,
later.
I gave you a quick follow. We need to, hit a studio up or something and come up with
Absolutely.
something nice to put out for our lovely friends on TikTok. All right.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, brother. Be careful.
All right. All
All
right,
right.
you
Peace.
too. All right. Keep telling the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother G. Yeah. I might might have to hit the studio up with him and make some more musics. You know, these records, they gotta move. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everything got to move when you're in the kingdom. All right, brother G, I appreciate it. All right, see what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Tiffany. I see you. You know, I'm just checking the temperature because you know you walk past the TV, your phone, you see it flash Biden's poll numbers, and they're trying to make people think President Biden isn't doing that well, but it's so strange. Everyone I've talked to today, they're all saying wonderful things about President Biden. Even, I mean, what really can you complain about? I have a list of his accomplishments. All right. And this is on the heels of Ray Epps, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ray Epps. We found out that he has nothing. He's been indicted and he's going to enter a guilty plea, you know. Greetings, Miss Boss Diva. How are you?
Greetings, my friend. I'm fine. How are you?
All right. I saw you beating up on my good friend Snacks.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the gloves are off. I don't want to hear all that. Don't come in here with all that crap and mission and bringing the truth level down to 50%
Oh,
in
that's what
the
they
in
were
the
doing?
chat. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I just don't have any tolerance for that. Okay, I just
Well,
don't.
it
And
is what it
and I'm
is.
I'm gonna pluck you out of here one by one if I have to. All right?
Mm.
And I do pay close
Well,
attention to what's going on, so don't think that you're gonna slide by for very long. Okay? Because
well, that's why.
we're not
Listen, that's
doing
why
that
we
here
target
in
Miss
Zeus's
Boss
Live.
Diva.
Yes,
That's
yes,
why we
sir. I
target
mean,
Miss Boss Diva.
that's right, sir. That's it's all in the name and it's all in the game. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Um,
No bounds.
but so Ray Epps is now being, what he's going to get some kind of deal that is going to entail jail or what's going on with this? I mean, I came in a
Well,
little late.
we don't know all the details, but he's willing to, you know, enter into a plea deal for some trespassing. All right, and along those lines, my main thing is, you know, we don't have any ties to BLM. We don't have any ties to Antifa or any ties to him being an employee of Nancy Pelosi. So, is it safe to say he's a Trump supporter? Is this a Trump supporter or not?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at him. He got the Trump hat on. He's at January 6th or whatever, wherever he at. He got his little boys with him, and he's having the time of his life. Look like to me in this picture, like he was just ready for whatever. Now, there was a comment down there somewhere that said
He's
that they
ready
was
for
ready for
whatever.
war whenever, and I just want to know, like, if you guys are ready for war, MAGA, like, who is your target?
Mm.
Who is your target? Who are you targeting specifically? I mean, are you going against the military? Are you going against everyday civilians? Is this the purge? What's going on?
Mm.
You know what I mean? I would like to know. You know what I mean? Because that,
Well,
that
they're
you
going
know.
to war with themselves at the end of the day. That's how I look
Oh,
at it.
oh, well, okay. Because a lot of the times that's not what they mean. They're kind of
Mm.
alluding to some kind of civil war, quote unquote, which, I mean, all of your boys is being locked up. The Proud Boys, the Oath Boys, the this and that and the third. You know what I mean? So who is your, people behind you? Who you going to get for this
Mm.
civil war? And then who is the target? I mean, I genuinely
Mm.
would like to know that. So if any Trump supporter want to get in this box and explain that away, that'd be great.
Any Trump supporters want to explain what the plan is? I would love to hear it. I'm all ears.
Yeah,
I
that's very,
really
very
am.
important. It sounds to me like that's a, underlying threat of some kind. You know what I mean? And I always want to stay ready so I don't have to get ready. You know.
Well, you know what
So
I say when they start talking about that Civil War stuff, I have to shut them down right there and say, listen, you're out of shape, all right. You ain't in the gym lifting weights. You ain't lifting weights. I could tell. You just went and ate a Big Mac or extra supersized at McDonald's. You're in no way, shape, or form ready to really put these boots on and start running north. Cut it out, MAGA.
Oh, but see,
Go
Zeus, the
north,
thing about it
boys.
is a lot of these are veterans. They've actually served, right? Like, homeboy behind you, didn't he? I mean, a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
these
yeah. This
people,
guy right here. He's
yeah,
at home crying
he was a
about gas
Marine.
prices. He says he can't afford the gas, Miss Boss Diva. So how's he gonna gas up the pacer and fight a war?
Oh, wow. Well, that
Sitting from
sounds like
behind
a
down.
lame excuse because, I mean, damn, Zeus, I mean, you and I, we both in California, right? I mean, how much you pay for gas? Because I know I pay a cool little coin for gas. And I really don't care.
What I spend in gas money alone. Listen, Miss Boss Diva, folks were these MAGA supporters. They wouldn't be eating that month if they had the money I spend in gas.
They wouldn't be eating
That,
that week in the money that I
no,
spend. I
no,
have
Lord,
3 cars that I
no.
have to fill up. So 3 cars
And
filling up and all of that, and I'm using every last one of them for various reasons. So I mean, you just got to spend money. Like Kevin said, you got to spend money to make money. You know what I mean? You have to get out there and get your, regardless to what. So ain't no sense in crying about it, especially when you personally don't have any kind of control over it. You know what I mean?
well, what it shows me is they're not being fiscally responsible.
That too, or
Yeah,
that or they
you
just
can't
don't.
send Donald Trump your money and then sit back and go, I'm broke. Stop it.
That's one good way to avoid, your gas woes and your egg woes and your grocery woes and all the woes, right? Yeah, definitely,
I know
absolutely.
what they're doing. I know. Listen, I met this one person. They were a Trump supporter, and I said, you know what? You keep saying you don't have any money. Let's go over your finances together, right? So I said, send me a printout of your expenses in your checking account, right? And so they sent me the printout, and I started going through them, and I see things like Safeway, I see things like Target, and I'm like, why are you going to Target so much? Oh, I needed this, I needed it. Okay, fine. And then you get to this one spot, and it says MAGA, right? It says MAGA, and there were Zelle transfers, and I said, well, what's MAGA all about? And these were like $200 transactions, and I said, well, there's your problem right there. You're sending all
Really?
your money to
It
Donald
said
Trump.
MAGA on the. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Somebody was tricking them, telling them, if you give me this money, I'm going to do this for Donald Trump. I said, really, $200, 2 times a month? And they got mad at me when I said, don't do it. They said, listen, Zeus, if I don't do it, things are going to get real nasty. I got to do it. I said, well, listen, you can't blame President Biden. Then you're sending it to Trump, right? That's your gas money. Listen, I'm
Oh
not making this stuff up. These folks
man, they sound.
believe, Miss Boss Diva, they believe that if they send Donald Trump their money, he's going to fix this country.
They really do. They really do,
They
Zeus. And they
do.
come in all shapes, sizes, and forms, and backgrounds, and all. It's just mind-boggling crazy. You know what I mean? I've met one the other day, inadvertently, actually, on a parking spot because I was waiting on the person to come out, and I happened to notice that he had like a Trump sticker on the back, Trump 2024. So he's, recently, running around here with all that recent gear. And then dude had on a shirt that says, Trump is my everything. Trump is my everything, in all black. I mean, it was black with the flag, like writing, and you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God. So I said, he asked me, he said, are you waiting on this spot? I said, yes, I'm waiting on the spot. He said, well, how long do you want to wait on the spot? So I just
What?
sat there and I looked at him and I just was doing other stuff in my car, whatever, waited for him to go. And he went on and everything. Then he circled back around just to, taunt me or whatever. And I'm not sure why he did that, but there's something in their water, in their air or food or whatever it is that they're consuming. Yeah, that really got they mind all screwed up because really I was not even thinking about being respectful, any of that. I was just sitting there waiting on the parking spot. I don't have a problem with that,
Right.
And he just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all instantly, like he
Right.
already like knew that I'm not a Trump supporter. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know,
he
but
could
it was
sense
weird.
your he could sense it. All right. The MAGA, they have some pretty good primal instincts. And they know when they're around other MAGA and then when they're around real ones, right? And so he ran up on a real one and his MAGA senses started, going haywire and he was like, "Oh my God."
So
If I don't
it's
agree,
like I felt like I was the anointed one and he was the demon and he knew not to, you know what I mean, approach me in
that
a
part.
disrespectful way, even though he still wanted to try to intimidate me. It was
Yeah.
so weird, and it was a trip because I was live on YouTube at the time. So
Oh.
I'm like, okay, well, if you want to bust a move, then go ahead. I got it all
Yeah,
here
you're
live
gonna
and
go
direct.
viral. You're
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah.
viral when you get with MAGA out in public. I don't know how some of these folks take. Like, I couldn't date somebody that was MAGA. Could you?
No, absolutely not. Oh no, I couldn't be.
See?
I can't
Okay.
stomach them. That's why I said I'm plucking them out of here. When I see that crap and they only got 2, 3 followers, 10, 15 followers, they want to come in here and talk all that crazy crap. Like right now, I'm talking to you, so I'm not really paying attention to the comments. But when I get off the panel and I come in here, I'm telling you, you're gonna see a long list under Miss Boss Diva. You ain't never seen a list that long
I
before
know I
under
gotta go
me.
check my list. I haven't checked my list in a couple of
Well,
days, but I just want to.
I don't, you know what? The dude wasn't a subscriber, whoever it was that I had, but I had to silence him because he was talking crazy about you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
In particular.
I
So,
try to. You know what it
yeah,
is, right? And I keep telling folks out there, jealousy is a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of strength. All right, especially to you MAGA men. All right, if you're so manly and you got those manly MAGA trucks with Donald Trump's logo all over it, why are you so jealous of Zeus?
yeah, you guys
Yeah.
really you don't want me to tell you exactly how I feel about you on Zeus's live because,
Oh, no, we got to keep
yeah,
it
you'll
moving, brother.
definitely be running with your tail between your legs. That's absolutely true. But anyway, I just wanted to get up here and I know you had noticed that I was plucking these fools out of here one by one, and I wanted to get up here to let you know that I'm protecting the kingdom. Okay, that's
Fair
what my
enough.
mindset is, and
All
that's
right.
all I
Well,
ever
let me
want to
tell these
do.
people. Let me
You
tell
know
these
what I
people real
mean?
quick. Yeah, Miss Boss Diva has made it clear, MAGA. Her, along with my other moderators, they're not here to play no games. All right. So you come in here and act like you got some manners. All right.
Exactly. Don't go with those cheap shots about Zeus getting paid by who, this, that, and whatever. We don't care about any of that. This is not the place or go somewhere else with that, okay? Seriously. Now, if you want to come in here and have a conversation about homeboy behind Zeus, or any of your other stupid people that you follow, then fine. We'll have a conversation, but don't come up here with the disrespect because I'm not going to tolerate it. I wish you gave me some other power, some other superpowers, because believe me, I have you zapped to Russia.
Oh,
That's what I
Lord
really
have
want to
mercy.
do. Zap you to
Oh
Russia.
my God. Oh my God.
Turn you into a Russia bot and send you to Russia.
Well, listen, I totally appreciate it, but
Yeah,
I have no problem with people disagreeing with me. I'm very comfortable doing that. But if they're getting nasty, I completely understand. All right.
yeah, like flooding the chat with it, just flooding it up, same message over and over and over again. I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
If you say it once, say it twice, okay. But if you keep doing it and I see it in the comments a lot, that I'm gonna clip you. You're gone. You're out of here.
Yep.
Don't do it. I'm giving you fair warning. If I give you a cut it out, you better straighten up and fly right, or otherwise you're gonna fly up out of here. Okay? All right, MAGA? We have an understanding? All right, cool. Love you, Zeus. I'm going to let you have somebody else up here that, can entertain us some more and give us their truths. And love you, and I'll see you around.
All right. Love you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Miss Boss Diva. MAGA, listen, you better get you some decorum about yourself, all right? Because the jig's up. It didn't always used to be this way. We used to be a lot kinder to you folks, you MAGA. We really did. Didn't we, Angela? Didn't we used to be a lot kinder to MAGA? Right? But we can't be kind to MAGA anymore because the gloves are off.
Everyone knows and I wouldn't have said this 3 weeks ago. I wouldn't have said it. I was actually very kind to him. I was very kind to him, but now we can't be kind anymore because the gloves are off. The jar has been opened.
Right. The gloves are off and the jar has been opened. And it's because of you, MAGA. All right. And now you got to deal with it. You know, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, you know, all that stuff. And then he fell down and busted his behind and fell into a lot of pieces. And the yolk got scrambled out there on the hot streets. And it's you can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's what the moral of that story is, MAGA. All right. And your leader, Donald Trump, is Humpty Dumpty. All right. He sat on the wall with his big behind, his big orange behind. All right. He sat on the wall. And you know, this wall symbolic because he was supposed to build a wall, you know, that wall down there between the United States and Mexico. He sat on it and broke it. All right. And he had a great fall. Right. And all the king's horses, you know, those are the MAGA Trump supporters. And the MAGA men tried to put Humpty Dumpty, Donald Trump, back together again. And he never came back together. He's in pieces. He's in shambles. Have you seen what he looks like in these interviews with his hair all over the place? I'm like, sirs, nobody, you know, usually you could tell Melania's not around because if your woman, if your partner is around, and they'll say things like, fix your shirt, honey. Fix your shirt, baby. Your hair's messed up. Dude, you know, no one's telling Donald Trump he looks like a hot mess. He's just getting on camera. He's getting on camera. He's doing that. Sir! That's sniffing, sir. That's sniffing that Donald Trump's do. Okay, fine. I didn't want to bring it up, but I got to bring it up. That sniffing that you hear him doing, you know where you get that kind of sniff from, right? You know you don't wake up, you don't come out your mother's womb learning how to sniff like that. Yeah, Dorothy, you could say it, I can't. But that sniff, every time he does that sniff, my mind instantly goes there. Who's sniffing like that? And that's both. He has both barrels going. You know, that's an expert right there. That's an expert at hitting that stuff. When you can do both barrels, and you know, and you know, I used to think it was sinuses and allergies, but there's that one thing you got to look for when he does that sniff. When he does that sniff, and he keeps a straight face. Oh, that's a junkie right there. That's a junkie right there. Only a junkie could sniff like that and keep a straight face. All right. I have no reason to lie to you folks about that. Donald Trump definitely needs to be looked at. Definitely. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were other members of Congress, perhaps, that were doing that. Like Lauren Boebert. You can't tell me. There's nothing. No, I'm not going to believe that. You can't convince me that grandma went to Beetlejuice and acted like that in her right mind. You're not going to convince me. Nope, not at all. I know what that medication, those drugs look like. And I know it's probably because of the Inflation Reduction Act. Now they can afford the medication and they're having a great time. Yeah, you're not going to convince Zeus. I know what drugs look like, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. All right. I'm going to bring up my next guest, ladies and gentlemen, because we got a lot to talk about. All right. Before I get up out of this closet of truth. Yeah, that sniffing is something else. Chris, welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, Zeus. How are you? I've
I'm
been
all
hearing
right.
so much about you from the other lives that I've been on, and it's a pleasure to be here
Oh,
to see
really?
you. Yeah.
I hope they're okay things you've heard about me because a lot of people don't like what I do.
Oh, I wouldn't be here if it
No.
was negative. I also do
Oh,
like two of your things.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, well, then you know what? Oh, well, this is our first time doing business then, I guess, right? So I got to ask you those questions. All right.
Okay.
Is this your first time in the live or is this just your first time
This is my
coming
first
in the
time in your life.
Oh, well, what? Well, first of all, I am very honored to have you here. All right. Listen, I've always enjoyed meeting people that I've never spoken with. All right. And so and for you to be brave enough to come into the closet of truth and
I'm
talk to
ready
me, I
for it.
am honored. I'm honored that you did it, but I gotta ask you these questions because this is a way for not just me, but for all of us to get to know who you are and where you stand on issues that matter in this kingdom. All right.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. All right. So the first
Question
question
one.
is, do you believe that the 2020 election was stolen by President Biden?
Was stolen from Biden? Absolutely not.
No. Did you think President Biden stole the election from
No,
Trump in
absolutely
2020?
not. No, he won fair
Oh,
and
okay.
square.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Next question. All right. In your opinion, who would you say is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th?
The con man Donald J. Trump.
Hey! Lies detected. All right, last and final question. It's going to come at you like a curveball, all right, but I got to ask it. In your opinion, is Hillary Clinton or President Joseph Biden guilty? Are they guilty of any crimes?
No, they are not.
All right, Chris. Listen, welcome to the kingdom. All
Thank
right, all
you.
right. All right, listen, I went ahead and gave you a nice follow, and I hope that you continue to come to these lives, all right? Because this is the Closet of Truth, but I do a morning show every 6:30, every Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. And it's supposed to be an hour and a half, but it usually goes over, all right? And you're more than welcome to come in and be a part of the experience. But this is a little more
Thank
intimate,
you.
all right? So I'm asking questions. These are just questions that I have to get to know the people I'm talking to a little bit better, all right?
Okay.
All right, all
So,
right. So how oh, you got something you want to ask me? Yes, it's Pacific time, Angela, you're right. Yes.
no, I was just gonna say
Was
the
there some
last guy,
Oh,
Slick the ruler, Stick the ruler.
yeah,
I didn't
stick the
realize
ruler.
we had so much in common. Or was it the other guy? Because I'm from New York, and I
Uh-huh.
also know about Donald Trump. I was always told
Oh, I think
that
you're
my
talking
great
about
grand
G.
G. Okay, I was told that my great aunt was one of the people that was denied housing from him and his father back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I
Wow.
also used to see John Gotti every now and again when I was in high school.
Wow. So this hits
Yeah,
home for you. This really hits home.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
He's a crook.
Are
Always been a crook.
are you still in the New York area?
I'm still in New York. Yes,
Okay,
originally from
okay.
Brooklyn.
Okay. Well, I'm not too familiar with the lay of the land. I know where that's at, but I don't really got ties to the streets like that over there. But let me ask you this question though. Uh, you see what's going on in this country, right?
I do.
From where you're from where you're at. Is crime going up and stuff like that, right? We all see it.
Um.
Gas gas prices
Well,
going up, egg prices going up and stuff like
well,
that. You
no.
you, you hear people talk about
My egg prices are fairly decent. My
okay.
gas prices are not too bad because I use BJ's gas. So right now I paid what 3.57 a gallon.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm not complaining.
okay. No. I mean, because with all of this stuff happening, I'm hearing a lot of people crying that President Biden isn't doing enough. And so I'm just trying to see if the poll numbers I'm hearing about align with what's really happening out here. So, I ask people on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of Biden's, job that he's done thus far into his presidency, him and Kamala Harris, where would you rate him?
I would have to give him an 8.5.
Wow.
I know that he's trying his best because he has a Congress that's refusing to work with him. The same thing
Mm,
that they went with Obama, which is actually kind of sad. Um, I don't like the fact when people want to say that Joe Biden has dementia, only because I work
right.
in healthcare. And if you actually been around somebody with dementia and you see the sundown terrors and stuff that they go through, you would see that
Mm,
that is nothing to joke around with. There's nothing
thank
funny
you.
about saying that somebody has dementia when they don't. And that's
Mm,
also disheartening to the people who have family and loved ones that are going through that.
I
And it
agree.
pisses me off
I
when I see that.
completely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're saying that at the end of the day, you don't believe what you're hearing them say about President Biden, and that he's really, taking the role of being a president very serious, and you have confidence in him.
I do. I do because I know that he means well.
Yeah.
I know that he means well. I know that there's a lot of things that people are not going to agree with, and that's fine. That's your right.
Mm,
It's okay for you to disagree. But
right.
he's doing the best that he can with what he well this is like I won't tell you like what my mother used to tell me before she used to beat my ass. But
Oh, yeah. Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
uh,
Now we got to keep it.
I
We got to
I
keep
know
it
he's
clean.
doing he's doing the best he can with what he has.
Okay.
He
Okay. And I
has
and
he
I
has
and
a
I.
Congress that's not willing to work with him, but he's trying.
Mm. Are
So
you okay with Kamala Harris being his vice president?
I'm okay with Kamala Harris, but I wanted Val Demings to be his
Mm.
VP. But I
Well,
like them both, but I liked her better.
yeah.
But I'm satisfied with Kamala. The people have to understand, like, what does the vice president actually do? They're just
Right.
there just in case something happens. They really don't
Right.
do much. They go to
Well, she's
places where the
learning the
president
job.
can't.
She's learning the job too, as the previous guest mentioned, stick the ruler, I believe, when he said it, Biden learned from Obama in terms of the roles of the position, in terms of, being able to walk into it in the event something crazy happened. And so I do believe Kamala is capable of, filling in if Biden should not be able to for some reason, right?
Oh, she's very capable. I mean, she's a smart young lady. Um,
Mm,
I mean, she did what she helped the people out in California that was in the housing bubble. Like Kamala's
mm,
record is nothing to mess around with. And
bingo.
it's irritating when you see that people try to downplay her. And I would like to
Typical.
think that it's only because that she's a black woman. Either she has an attitude or she doesn't know what she's doing. Everybody want to try to mansplain stuff. This she's
Mm,
doing what she's supposed to do.
mm.
She's
Wow.
on
I
the
mean,
job training just in case something happens. She's there.
yeah. 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 So why do you think we keep hearing all of these complaints from people about President Biden and Kamala Harris? They say things like, uh, we're sending money to Ukraine that could be used to help Americans. What do you say to that?
Well, that money that they're sending to the Ukraine had nothing to do with the U.S. budget to begin with. And people
Mm,
need to understand that. That was with the military, and that they
right.
had a deal when the Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapons. They was told that if you give up your nuclear weapons, that we will protect you. And it's not just the US. It's a bunch of countries,
Mm.
our allies, that's protecting them. Because if they think that Russia is only going to stop at the Ukraine, I can sell you the Brooklyn Bridge for $5. Putin's goal is
You're
to
right.
try to revamp the USSR, which included
Mm.
all those little countries that are now there because the USSR is no more. And
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
irritating when you have, like, I'm 50. It's irritating when there's people that's my age and older that remembers the USSR, that sat in
Hmm.
school. When we were in school, we were actually taught something. We weren't taught to pass a test. They know what the hell is going on.
Right.
They knew
No
how it
lies
was
detected.
back in the 80s and the 70s, the early
Mm.
90s. They knew that. We
Mm.
had to take
Yeah.
global tests to graduate. Essays,
Wow.
not multiple choice. We had to write essays to
Mm.
graduate. So you can't tell me
Mm.
that you don't remember this crap.
So are
It's
you in? So
insane.
it sounds to me. It sounds to me that when it comes down to it, you're okay with how Biden is, showing support to Ukraine.
Well, they have to show support to Ukraine, because if they don't, like I said, he's gonna try to take over other countries. Now, I can
Mm.
say that I don't like how the Ukraine treated the African people that was there and the Haitian
Mm.
people that was there when they were trying
I
to
remember.
evacuate everybody, how they was kicking them off the buses and stuff to try to leave them there. That I had a problem with,
Mm.
you
Mm.
know,
I
but
can't say. I can't say I don't agree.
But I don't
But
think that somebody should have to come
overall,
into your house to try to say, "Oh, I live here now."
mm,
And for someone
yeah.
that's indigenous, non-connected, like this is what happened. That's how this country was developed.
Mm,
You had the
you're right.
Europeans come here to kick out the indigenous people, the Afro-indigenous people, the
Mm.
Mexican people that they're now saying that are um, illegal aliens. They were here and was
Oh,
pushed
wait, wait,
down.
wait. So now you're getting into one of my other topics, which is immigration. Someone called me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I got a call. So now you're getting into another topic. Yeah. Right now they're complaining about what's going on at the border. Right?
Yeah,
They're complaining, and you're in New York. I hear Mayor Adams has been having his hands are full
he's an
dealing with
asshole.
this. Oh, well, what are you thinking? Now we got to keep it clean.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's a special kind of
So,
rabbit.
okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. I might have to use that. All right. Thank you for the game. Uh, where would you, how would you say President Biden and Kamala Harris uh, are doing when it comes to addressing the situation with immigration?
I mean, when you have the Statue of Liberty that's saying on the foot of it to give me your tired and your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free, and you have people that's
Mm,
actually coming here looking for asylum because that's what the Statue of Liberty is saying, you guys
mm,
can't really be upset about that. And the fact
mm.
that they actually I'm trying to see, like how can I say this?
I
Um
mean, you don't, it sounds like you're saying you don't fault them for having a desire to want to come to the United States, right?
no, I don't. I don't.
Mm.
I mean,
Uh,
I
And
know
Trump,
that it's getting a
huh?
little over. I know it's getting a little crowded,
Yeah.
and I would like for
Mm.
the mayor of New York and it to stop using these people as political ploys, as well as Texas and Florida,
Mm,
Abbott and DeSantis and Ted Cruz. I think that they should be charged for trafficking, because you're trafficking these people across state lines, and you're lying to
mm,
them.
mm, mm. Kim
That's what I
J.
think that should, because you can. Granted, you can't help everybody. You can't save everybody. But for you
Right.
to put people in planes and buses and whatever and say, "Oh, well, you're gonna go here," knowing that they don't understand what you're saying, and then they get here and then they're stuck. That's not right. That's
Mm,
not right.
that's not. You're 100% spot on. And uh, do you think the solution is one that Biden himself should solve, or do you think it should be worked out in Congress?
To be honest, I don't know if anybody, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever, I don't know if anybody knows what to do with the immigration.
Mm.
I'm not sure, like,
And
what can be done.
I mean, it's a tough thing, and that's probably why nothing that we would like to see is happening. So, with that being the case, I'm hearing about this is the last thing, and then I gotta check in with a
No,
few
that's
of my
fine.
other panelists.
That's fine.
But the last thing is, you hear about this strike going on with the union auto workers. You heard about this?
Yes, I did.
All right. Do you have any opinions about this? It seems like they want more money, right?
I
Are
mean,
you
when
in?
you have when you have corporations making money hand over foot, and you're trying to tell your workers that they can't afford to give you a raise, that's a bunch of
Mm,
BS. Especially, like, you guys were bailed out with Obama, and
mm,
Obama turned them away, and they had to sell their jets and stuff when they came begging for money. When they
mm.
came back and he gave them their stuff, whatever stock that they sold, Trump made it so that they can buy their stock back.
Oh.
And they left their workers in the dust.
Mm.
See, Trump
So
don't give a damn about these people that's supporting him.
he really doesn't. He really doesn't. But my question, I guess, is are these Americans, are they asking for too much, right? Because what I'm aware of is this. What I'm aware of is this. Uh, the migrants that come over to the United States, they do a lot of work that Americans don't want to do, right?
Right. Did you see the
Um,
video when they had the when the undocumented people stopped doing the farming in Florida, and they had the white people come in there? Half of them people didn't stay the whole day, and the other half of them didn't come back the next day. So you
right.
can't
And,
say
and,
that
and
they're
as
taking American jobs, when these are jobs that y'all don't want.
well, and this is why I'm bringing this up because uh, the businesses, anybody that's familiar with the mission of any company, the company's mission is to make money, right?
Yeah,
If you ain't making any money, what are we all doing here? Going broke together? I don't need you
right.
to be on this sinking ship with me. I can do fine all by myself. The goal is to make money.
But that's
And
because you had
so
people like Lord Reagan. I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, you could go.
You
You could
had
go.
somebody like
I'm,
Lord Reagan convince these people about trickle down economics, which has never been a thing. You had Clinton
oh.
prove that the way that the corporations make money is to give the working class people the tax cuts, because the money goes up. The money
Mm,
never goes down. And then you have
Mm,
all these people since Lord Reagan, because they idolized Reagan the way that they're idolizing Trump,
mm.
to a failed actor and a failed businessman.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's like you
No
can't
lie.
do that. The rich
Right.
people don't care about you.
Mm,
The people
mm,
that's working, when we get money, we buy stuff because we need it. We need a car, we need a house, we need this. So they're gonna get their money. Rich
mm,
people hold on to their money.
mm.
It never
Do,
trickles
do
down.
so with that understanding, uh, what would you say if you were the CEO of these companies, right? And you're making all this kind of crazy money, right? These companies, these American automakers, they got to compete with all the other automakers throughout the world, right? They gotta be able to put just as good of products on the market as those businesses that are in Europe, as those businesses that are in Asia, and their other competitors domestically. So they're in a bit of a conundrum, right? Uh, how do you remain competitive and pay your employees more?
Well, it's a
And
good thing that I'm not a CEO, because I don't know.
but
But
this
I
is
do
why
know
I'm
that
bringing.
people need a livable wage.
Well, but this is kind of why I'm bringing up the immigration issue, because I think when this kind of question came up in the past, you saw kind of what happened, and you mentioned it earlier. It's getting to a point where people, Americans, as far as I'm concerned, there's just some jobs we won't work if the price
No.
isn't right. Is that? But then you got to also live with the reality. There are people who will take those jobs very proudly,
Yeah. You also have
right?
people that just want to complain just for the sake of complaining.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have all those people, but I want to basically say this, and then I'll take the heat for it. But you know, these migrants that are coming to America for a brighter future, the argument could be made that these same jobs that people are saying aren't paying enough, those migrants would proudly take.
Yeah.
And so the question is, how do you deal with that reality? And I think that's the best way to describe what's been going on in the history of the United States since the beginning, when it was founded off of slavery, right?
All
You
right.
got to have cheap labor. You got to
Right.
have cheap labor. If there's cheap labor, there's no profit. This is just
Right.
how it looks. This is how it looks. All right. Well,
Exactly.
listen, Chris, it was a pleasure. It was a
It
pleasure
was a
talking. I don't
pleasure
have the
being
answer,
here.
but yeah. All right.
And
I hope to see
unfortunately,
you
I don't
again.
have
All
all
right.
the answers either, but it was great coming here. Thank you so much.
All right, you're absolutely welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Chris. Yeah, I mean, it breaks my heart to see these folks out there not getting paid livable wages. All right. I recognize everyone needs to make livable wages. But if you're a business owner and any of you out there run the businesses, the first thing I would ask all of you is, how many of you, all of you, even those of you who don't own a business, right? You work for a living and you got a job. How many of you would take a 40% cut to your bottom line? By a show of hands, how many of you would proudly take a 40% cut to your bottom line? Let me see any hands up. Raise your hands if you would proudly take a 40% cut to your bottom line. Business owners or not, raise your hand. You see how that works? You see how that works? The greed, it's not just corporate greed. It's not just it's on a personal, it's personal greed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How many of you out there would take, because this is what they're proposing, the CEOs of these companies to take it, they're saying the CEOs are making record profits and they need to share those profits with the employees. All right. And that sounds great. But at the end of the day, that's going to come across as a cut to somebody's bottom line. All right. You would? Oh, it's OC3. You would? All right. My man. All right. My man. All right. Well, listen. You got a real American hero out here, ladies and gentlemen. You really do. Queen Flea, hello.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Wow,
I'm sitting under
congratulations.
the apple tree. This is the
Oh,
first time I've been with you.
all right. Well, I've seen you around quite a bit, all right? But yes, this
Yes.
is our first
Yes.
time in this is our first time doing business online together, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I got to
I'm
ask you
I'm
some
I'm
questions.
yeah. I'm
All
ready.
right,
I'm
all right,
ready.
all right. All
Yeah.
right, let's get straight to it. In your opinion, let me get my heavy hammer of truth, all right? And your good
Oh
friend
no, don't
Snuggles
hurt
is
me.
arrived, all right? Your good friend Snuggles has arrived, all right? So
Oh,
don't get scared,
you
all
know how I
right?
don't like him. Sorry.
I understand. I understand. All right. First question is, in your opinion, was the 2020 election stolen by President Biden?
Absolutely not. He won it fair and square.
Hey! Winning Snuggles. All right. Next question. In your opinion, who would you say is responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th?
Maggot bootlickers.
Hey! Would you say Donald Trump too? Was that
Donald
Donald
Trump,
Trump too?
the ringmaster.
Thank
I'll
you.
give him
Thank you.
that.
All right. All right. He's the ringmaster. All right. Last and final question. And it's going to come at you like a curveball. All right.
Okay.
In your opinion, is Hillary Clinton or President Biden, are they guilty of any crimes?
No, not at all. I can't say.
Eh,
I keep having to argue.
no lies detected. Listen, what a
Okay.
great show. What a great show. Now the reason I'm
Okay.
having this positive truth, right? I've talked about Ray Epps. We've confirmed that he's 100% MAGA, right? He's MAGA in your opinion? Or is
Um,
this an FBI agent or is this MAGA? Which one do you think?
that's a what is that? Emotional damage. Yeah, those guys are all, you know, yeah. I don't want to
Hmm.
get in trouble
Hmm.
with what
Okay,
I
well we got to
say.
keep it. We
Yeah.
got to keep.
In
Okay, I get
Spanish.
it. Okay.
Where's Yazzie? In
Oh.
Spanish, I'd say estúpidos tontos. See?
Ooh. It sounded nasty, just like MAGA. All right, I give it to you. I give it to you. Now the other thing that I'm doing though is I'm checking in because you get all these alerts on your phones about Biden's ratings, right? You
Yeah.
hear these things. You hear these folks on TikTok. They hold these lives. They're crying about their gas prices, their utility bills, their eggs. And I keep thinking to myself, what country are they living in versus what country am I living in? So I said, you know what? It's time to check with my good friends out here on social media and TikTok and see what's going on. So Queen Flea,
Yes.
one the question I've been asking people so far is on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate President Biden and Kamala Harris's, performance thus far?
Well, I had to admit that I'm biased because I have a great big flag that says Biden and Harris.
Oh,
So,
oh,
yes, I have the flag. I have the
oh.
flag.
Well, listen,
And
no one's judging. Can we
I
see?
say
Well, listen, is it nearby? Can we see it? Where is it at?
I would okay. I can't fly it because I live
Oh,
in MAGA neighborhood.
oh my
I got
God.
my Obama sign got egged. They're rich
Wow.
here. They can egg my Obama sign.
Wow. They got
Yeah.
enough money to buy eggs and throw it at an Obama sign. Isn't that
Oh yeah.
funny?
Yeah. That
These
was
MAGA
pretty
folks
sad.
they come up with a lot of money to do this stuff all of a sudden, right?
And And they go around the neighborhood with their big oops. I'm gonna have to say, oh, can I call you back later? Okay. They go
Oh,
around
they want to
they go
see.
around. I know, I'm busted. Busted. Okay, busted by somebody who says, um, Ray Epps. What about Ray Epps? I don't know about Ray Epps. You tell me. He's just
Right.
a MAGA, right?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't,
MAGA. They keep
I'm the
saying he's
one.
FBI, but he's not FBI. He's
How about the deal that one of my neighbors went to January 6th and posted all these like group pictures where they're all crouching with their pew pews and yeah. Uh-huh.
they
In my
they
neighborhood.
posted it on Facebook.
Oh yeah, yeah. At right at the time, they were all
Wow.
like so super proud and
Wow.
yeah, and then they kind of wondered why they lost their business or a lot of their business from schools because okay, first of all, no wars, right? No wars. They do Civil War reenactments. That was his business. It's just
Ha!
ridiculous. You know,
What?
they Civil War reenactments. And they wanted to know why, and they were trying to sue these school districts that backed out of bringing children to Civil War reenactments with muskets and all whatever, I don't know,
Wow.
rifles, I don't
They
know.
brought children in on this even
Yes,
worse.
yes. And
Wow.
and 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 he was always like that's why I went to TikTok because I didn't like how they were on Facebook and especially trying to rally all these young people to their cause. I have a really big problem with that. There, here's my doggy.
Yeah. Oh, such a cute doggy. Oh my God. Right?
Yeah,
So cute.
yeah.
So so you're okay in terms of you didn't give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. I get
Oh,
that
okay,
you're
okay.
biased.
Back to okay. Um, Also, I'm really worried about the environment and climate, especially in Alaska, and I'm always advocating for um, like no pipelines, and I'm an indigenous advocate as well. And so I have to say 9. I'm gonna
Oh, you
take
gave him a nine?
a ding.
Wow. You know, listen, I've been talking to people in the closet of truth all afternoon, and everyone has given President Biden high ratings. So I don't get why they're saying his poll numbers are terrible. No one, you quit watching those polls. Seriously. Snuggles, wake up.
I
All
gotta look
right.
at what he's saying. Oh, just I saw something that I think is brilliant. You go into your settings on your television and you block, like parental controls, block One American News, Fox News, Max News, and see how much you are going to be able to speak with the person that you love that's addicted to those
Mm,
shows. Okay?
mm. So you're saying we should encourage MAGA, to turn off Fox News, turn on those parental controls, huh?
On One American News, Max News, I don't know what other,
Fox, definitely Fox.
so-called Fox News, Fox Entertainment. I just get so upset when I think about how people like Ben Shapiro and Whitney Webb. You never mentioned those people, but I'm hearing from one particular person, and I won't
Mm.
out them. Somebody I'm very close to that says, "Oh, what about Ben? Is his name Ben Shapiro? Is his name?" Ben? the kid that is uber conservative, and then they have these
I
like
don't know this guy.
QAnon. I call Whitney Webb like the Q Webb. I call her
Uh-huh.
Whitney Webb. Have you ever seen
Wow.
her stuff? She was interviewed by somebody on Fox, Greg Gutnick or whatever his name is or whatever.
Hmm.
Anyways, I just can't stand I can't stand these conservative pundits that um use fear and all this other
Yeah.
nonsense. All
They
this other
love
nonsense.
promoting fear. They love promoting fear, don't they?
Yeah.
So now let me ask you this: since you say Biden, you rated him a 9 out of 10, which I think is marvelous. Uh, how do you feel about his stance in terms of Ukraine? Right, I'm hearing a lot of people crying that we're sending way too much money to Ukraine and we're not using the money here in the United States to help regular Americans. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what happened to all the support that when the war first began? I stand
Mm,
with Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine. The Again, I'm trying to be a peacenik, but I definitely support the any kind of support that we can offer to Ukraine because it is a key um like a geographical location to really screw us. And I think there was something about, like we fight the war there so that we don't fight it here. Um,
oh, right.
and it's getting really dirty. The all
Mm,
the children. I have a poster on my Instagram that says, "Where are the Proud Boys?" When something like this, why don't you go to Ukraine and
yeah.
fight for democracy, fight for our rights, human rights,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I
also
would love.
yeah, just I definitely can't um, say enough about how we need to do more humanitarian aid to Ukraine. I mean,
Mm,
there are civilians and children, and I like the fact that I heard that the Ukraine women were going on like websites, like social dating websites, and doing fake profiles and kind of like catfishing, but then getting locations on Russian soldiers.
really?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
That's an all out offensive if you ask me, but that's a clever way to get people. That's a clever way.
I was
Now
like,
my last question, all right, my last question, and then I gotta move it on. Well actually it's getting kind of late. Oh my God. It
what
has
is
to
it?
do with immigration. It has to do with immigration. All right. A lot of complaining going on about what's happening at the border, and you said Biden is at a 9. So could you explain your opinion on what Biden and Kamala Harris are doing at the border, and what could they do to do better, or maybe they don't need to do anything and things are great.
Well, I do live in California. I saw somebody said I was clueless. I take that as a compliment because that's a good movie. But
Well,
anyways,
every MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession. All right, that's what we say over here.
I use
Yeah,
that now. Anyways,
yeah,
I am in Southern California. I am Mexican, okay?
yeah.
And I do I have okay, I was a postal worker and I was a shop steward, talking about union. Okay, I'll get to the border, okay? I'll get to the border. But I was
All
also
right,
the ethnic minority representative for 17 Western states.
right.
Post office women for equal rights power. Yes. And
Yes.
so I had gone to I also worked for the Labor Council, and we protested like in support of the strawberry pickers in
Mm,
Hollister in California, Northern California there, the in support of the grape pickers and so forth, the farm workers.
right.
So uh, the border crossed us. like they say, all these states, these southern states, were Mexico. If I did my genealogy, or went through my background, and my people are Mexican from northern Mexico and southern Texas, all across that part and going towards the Gulf. Okay, so I go
Right.
all the way down south past the Gulf. So, anyways, and as a teacher, and then I became a teacher, and I had so many kids that were migrant worker kids, foster kids, and DACA kids. Like when Donald Trump first got into office, my student after school, she cried. She said, we're gonna get deported. I can't do this. My mom is, she's a single mom. But anyways, I personally, I really feel that there has to be a humanitarian way, better way to process the immigrants that come through. In construction,
Right.
in Southern California in construction, so many young construction workers, men, go cross the border every single day. They live in Tijuana or close to Tijuana. I'm trying to remember the other city, but anyways, they come every day to work, and my husband points out that all these immigrants are men, that they're not vetted, that
Is your
they're
husband
criminals.
is your husband he's on the blue side, or is he on the red
No,
side?
no, that's what I'm always arguing. He's the one that said, "What about Ray Epps? What about Ray Epps?" And I was like, "Come on."
Oh, so wait a second,
I get
Queen Lee.
yes.
You are living with a MAGA man?
No, he says he's not MAGA. He swears he's not MAGA. He gets disgruntled. He says, "You voted for me when you voted for Obama. You voted for me. I let you vote for me. Now I'm not letting you vote for me. You can't tell me
Wait
who
a
to vote
second.
for."
Wait
It's
a
the
second. Did he vote for Donald Trump?
no, he didn't, because you know what? I can't commit. I can't reveal my. He never found his ballot.
Is that what he told you?
Yeah.
Queen
And then
Flea?
I said, "Come
Uh,
on, let's go down to the, let's go down to the senior center where there's balloting, open voting."
I
No. Yeah, I
I
voted. Well,
know.
listen, he didn't want to vote. He didn't want to vote all those years. All these years. Okay, I'm confessing. Okay, all these years we used to watch Bill Maher together, Rachel Maddow. Now I'm mad at Bill Maher. And then I can't stand the fact that my husband is telling me about these conspiracies like um Burisma,
I
okay, Hunter Biden's laptop, uh, Epps, Hillary Clinton,
Queen
and
Flea.
the unaliving of what about the chef? And
So
then,
he believes in conspiracy theories.
oh yeah,
Queen Flea.
9/11,
Queen
9/11.
Queen Flea, I
I,
hate to tell
I,
you this. I hate to tell you this. I hate to tell you this, but I gotta get my hammer. It's there. It's here. I he he's been compromised.
well, you
He's
know
a
what?
Trump supporter.
You know what? He had that black and white flag, which is a dog whistle for racist, with the thin red line because it's for first responders. And of course, we're in a place where we've been evacuated for those fires, So
Right.
so he's like, "Oh, what about the first responders and all that?" And I was like, "Okay, whatever." But I tried to take the sticker off his windshield, the back windshield. I tried to take it off because I said, "I am not driving that truck with that." And he said, "Oh, I was in San Diego, and this couple, he's really not racist or anything like that." But he said, "Yeah, they looked at me kind of weird." And I said, "It's because of that damn sticker. Nobody
Wow.
wants that sticker. Nobody of color wants that sticker. It's like the red hat.
Mm,
It's
mm,
like
mm,
the
mm.
red hat." Anyways, I went to Prophets of Rage concert in 2016 or 2017, and I
Right.
got a Made in the USA ball cap, red ball cap that says "Make America Rage Again." and, I used
Unbelievable.
I used to wear it, but
Hey,
now
listen,
I can't.
Queen Flea, I gotta move it on, Queen Flea, all
Okay.
right? It was great checking in with you, all right?
Okay.
I hope to hear from you again.
Okay, good. I hope I haven't made myself not persona non grata because I'm working on him. I'm working on him. It's
Oh, no, no,
ridiculous.
no, no, no. I'm going, no, I need you to keep your eyes and ears on him and listen, just be aware that you're dealing with a MAGA, all right?
Well, he says
We
he
got a lot
swears
of
he's
them.
not. He
No, no,
swears he's
no,
not.
no. Okay, well, let's send him to Zeus. Send him to Zeus. I'm a MAGA whisperer. I'm a MAGA whisperer. I'm trained in terms of how to identify anybody possessed with that MAGA demon. All right, Yazzie.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks for the
all right.
reassurance.
You're welcome. But
Bye,
he's
everyone.
definitely
Bye,
MAGA.
Kingdom. Vote
All
blue.
right.
Vote as if your life depends on it.
Good, good, good. All right, and send him to Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Queen, please.
Bye. Bye.
All right, listen.
I was going to say
Uh,
bye.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. All
I was going
right,
to say bye.
ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
Felicia. I'm Felicia, but you shouldn't say bye.
No, I wouldn't say that to you. I wouldn't say that. Come on, man.
That's why.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one. All right. Uh, where is Snuggles at? Snuggles, did you get muted? Did someone mute Snuggles? If so, please unmute Snuggles. All right. Snuggles, behave in the comment section, all right? Snuggles, are you there? I don't see you. Is he muted? He's sending me very nasty text messages. He's crying. All right. Oh, Snuggles, why are you lying? Is there a way I can drop Snuggles? He's lying in the comment section. Is there a way I can drop him right here, right now? Why would you, Snuggles, be sending me text messages saying that you've been muted? And you're right here texting in my comment section. Snuggles. Cry. These are those MAGA babies. Throw some tomatoes at him, please. Throw some tomatoes at him. And I will not be going to a Beetlejuice concert or Beetlejuice musical with the nasty Snuggles. No. I won't let him Lauren Boebert me. All right, Cindy, I unmuted you, Cindy. I saw that you caught one of my mods. All right, I have some regular haters in here. All right, and the regular haters, I want them to I want them to let me know how I feel sometimes. All right, and so that's why I unmuted them. Throw the tomatoes at Snuggles, please. Bop, welcome. You changed your name. Yes, if you see Snuggles, throw those tomatoes at him. All right, he's up to no good. He got that MAGA demon. Good afternoon, Andy. How are you?
I am good, Zeus. I wanted to bring awareness to a little something, if you don't mind.
Hmm. You want to do what?
Bring some awareness. Yesterday was the
Oh,
234th anniversary of the U.S. Constitution's ratification. And and a bunch of women are getting together and with some senators, and they're going to push to have the Equal Rights Amendment ratified because we have enough votes, we have enough states. It's just some Republicans think they can stand in the way. So, I want, if everybody can make their right to your senators, Congress people, everywhere on social media, let them know we need this done, because equal rights will slow down the 2025 project, because unless they can subjugate us, they can't push that through. It,
Amen. Tell
it
them.
requires us not having rights and keeping us without rights for them to be able to do what they want to do. So y'all
Tell
get out
them.
there
Tell
and
them, Andy.
scream.
Tell them. That's what these MAGA Republicans want to do. And you know they don't respect the Constitution.
Oh no, they won't. I mean, the plans they have for women are, first of all, ladies, the thing to overturn birth control is on the docket of the Supreme Court to this year. So we need to start screaming very loudly before they turn us all into incubators. Because it's not about pro-life. When they're taking away birth control and keeping the Second Amendment, it's about pro-birth and control. So thank you, Zeus, for giving
Amen.
me a few minutes. I appreciate you.
Anytime, Andy. I appreciate you for always having the courage to come in here and tell the truth. All right. It's like my grandmother says, you got to tell the truth and
And shame the
shame
devil.
Snuggles.
Well, both one and the same.
Yeah.
Y'all have a great day.
And
Thanks, Zeus.
you're
Oh, yeah.
welcome. You're welcome, Andy. All right, yeah. Oh, new poll. Which party has the most corruption? Absolutely. The MAGA Republican Party. Sharon, welcome. Nice to see you. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great closet of truth. Oh, we got one more guest. All right. I guess I can do it. All right. It's been quite the show. Welcome to the closet of truth. Who do we have here? Who do we have here? Oh, it looks like they're trying to connect. Is this? It says Sherry. Are you on the MAGA Wi-Fi? Perhaps is this MAGA Wi-Fi? Going once, going twice. So, all right, all right, all right. Well, listen, we tried, Sherry. Maybe you can send another guest request. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a very good episode of The Closet of Truth. Number one, we got to the bottom of the whole Ray Epps nonsense. It turns out Ray Epps is truly a Trump supporter. Oh, wait a second. Oh. We got a special request. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. My good friend, Nutty Professor. All right, Nutty, welcome. For my
So
last
this,
sentence. All
I've
right.
been in, I've been in and out of the live, and the times that I've been in, I've heard nothing but truth. So I
Thank you.
appreciate that. But
Let's
it's
go.
funny. It's funny how Ray Epps, he definitely is a MAGA supporter, and he
Right.
makes no bones about it. But now MAGA doesn't want to claim him because he's saving his own hide.
Right.
Which is funny because they would do the same doggone thing if they were in his situation.
Hmm.
They would save their, well, if they were smart, they would do that same doggone thing. But they're not smart. We know
Right.
that. So I have no problems with Ray Epps trying to save his own skin. I have no problems with that because I'd be doing the same thing.
Hmm.
Save,
Right.
save, save your butt by any means necessary. So I'm not. I know you're about to get off here, but so since this
Well,
is
wait.
called
I
the
got some
closet
more
of truth,
questions though. I got a couple
yes,
questions for you, brother. All right. I
yeah,
gotta give you the
yeah. Go
same
ahead.
questions I've been giving. So, there's been a lot of talk about Biden's polls numbers. All right. And so I'm out and about just probing regular Americans like yourself to see how you feel about some things. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you is on a scale of 1 to 10, all right, and there's Trump supporters in here, and you don't gotta be scared of them, Nutty, all right. But I want you to be honest.
Come on, I'm not scared of him.
How would you rate President Biden and Kamala Harris in terms of their performance on a scale of 1 to 10?
12,
12?
yes, 12. So, and let me give you why I say a 12.
Tease
Be,
on it.
because they are not. Trump, Pence.
Mm,
They're not
mm,
Donald Trump or Mike Pence. Now,
mm.
if we didn't have a Donald Trump and Mike Pence,
Right.
I would give them a solid 8.5.
Okay. I got it. Makes sense.
But
I
but
get it. I get
because
it. That makes perfect sense.
but
That makes
because
perfect
we
sense. Now, huh?
because we did have a Donald Trump, that you gotta give it a curve and pat it up to a 12.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? So far, so good. I have not heard one person say Biden's doing a terrible job since I've been in the closet of truth, and you've given President Biden and Kamala Harris the highest rating today. So I thank you for that because, I have a list of Biden accomplishments. I haven't read it in a while, but you stopped me from reading it this time because a 12 is pretty darn good, if you ask me, in light of what's going on. And so, along those lines, I got to continue this conversation by going in this direction. So, Biden is very vocal about supporting Ukraine,
Right.
right? Do you think Biden should be still supporting Ukraine after all this time?
So I'm going to answer it in a roundabout way. Okay. If you are true supporters of this nation, and for
Mm-hmm.
the tale that this nation stands behind its word, you would be a supporter of Ukraine as well. So on that note, absolutely
Yes.
unequivocally, we must support an ally like Ukraine. If it were not for, and what's really tying us to Ukraine is the Budapest
Right.
Memorandum.
Mm.
We have an obligation. I don't know if they know what that means. We have an obligation to Ukraine,
Right.
not just our
Mm.
word, but an obligation because we convinced Ukraine to give up their nuclear weapons. Once they gave up
Right.
their nuclear weapons, with our agreement that we would step in and we would protect their sovereignty if they were to ever be attacked by anyone, that
Thank
they would
you.
have the full weight of the United States government behind them.
Amen. Well, they're saying, Nutty. They're saying they're sending money to help Ukraine, and they're not sending money to help Americans. What do you say to that?
The devil is a lie.
The devil is a lie.
The devil is a lie because I'm sick of sideways talking points. Here's the deal:
Mm,
the money that's been sent to Ukraine. If Ukraine hadn't been invaded by Russia, guess where that money would be? It would still be in our defense budget. It still is not
oh,
going to the American people. So
oh,
miss me with that fake BS that you care about American citizens. Because if you cared about
mm.
American citizens, you would have worn a mask during COVID.
Ooh.
You don't care.
Oh,
You don't. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your moral indignation about oh, you're sending money to Ukraine but not the American people. Because that
mm,
money, if it were not going to Ukraine, it still wouldn't be going to the American people.
mm,
So
mm,
what's your
mm. I
talking point
love it.
now? What's your talking
I
point
love
now?
it, Nutty. I love it. I love it. Well, let's keep this conversation cooking, all right? I got to move on to a couple of more areas. Another area, and this is a very tough one, is the border issue. You hear about what's happening at the border. Do you think Biden and Harris are doing enough when it comes to addressing the situation at the border?
I think they're doing all that they can do. Here's the deal.
Hmm.
The border
Talk to me.
crisis, and it is a crisis. The border crisis
Yeah.
is not a Joe Biden thing. We had a border
Hmm.
crisis when Donald Trump was in the White House, but I didn't hear y'all talking about it then. We had a border
No.
crisis when Barack Hussein Obama was in the White House. We had a border crisis when George W. Bush was in the White House, when Bill Clinton was in the White House, when George H.W. Bush was in the White House, when Ronald Reagan was in the White House. We have
Hmm.
had a border crisis for the last 75 years. So
Hmm.
why is the border crisis now so pronounced now? It's because the
Hmm.
racists are going to come home to roost because it's black and brown people. Because let me tell y'all something. There are more people coming across the
Hmm.
northern border than there are the southern border. But
Hmm.
yet we have this fictitious boogeyman in the
Oh,
southern border because we are attached to a country that has mostly black and brown folks.
wow. So they're
But yet,
being
but
racist.
oh, 1000%. But yet
Good.
our northern borders, it borders a white country,
Mm.
and
Great Britain.
they come in here at will. People fly in and overstay their visas. That's where the
That's
border crisis is. That's where the border
tell
crisis
them.
is through the airports.
Mm.
There's no
Folks
such thing.
overstaying their visas.
And furthermore, since we are in the closet of truth, we're not in
Talk
the
to them.
closet. We're not in the
Paint
closet
the
anymore.
picture.
This is a full out open stadium of truth.
Yeah. Ooh, I
Furthermore,
like that stadium of truth.
let's talk about Tejas or Texas or
Mm.
California or Nevada. All of those territories, all up through the western part of the United States, that's Mexico.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
these people are simply coming home.
Mm.
So you want
Mm.
to talk about borders? Border your butt somewhere and sit down in a corner and learn some history. Border that.
Mm. You right. You're right. They getting on these folks for simply coming on home. And a majority of these so-called hypocrites or MAGA folks, they're benefiting from these people that come across the border in
Absolutely.
one way or another, aren't they?
Absolutely. For a simple fact, look at Florida. Look,
Talk to them.
Florida's economy is hurting because of DeSantis, because of his little woke policies trying to push the migrants out of there. Hey, Ron DeSantis, who's picking your oranges? Who's
Mm.
picking your apples and your vegetables? Because
Snuggles.
of you
Is
and your
Snuggles
woke
picking your
policy,
oranges?
who's building your buildings? Yeah,
Mm.
they're going to different states. They're going to other states
Mm.
and they're boosting the economy in the other states. Y'all want to talk about the people coming across the border, but yet they're a benefit to this country because those same people
Mm.
that you're complaining about, they pay taxes and they don't milk the system.
Mm. Mm. Milking the system. Who's benefiting from the system, in your opinion, the most? Ah, nutty. You know, they like to
Corporations,
say, people.
corporations,
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
corporations. You want to talk about welfare? Let's talk about corporate welfare for people
Mm.
who don't need the money. Back in
Mm.
2008, back in 2008, during the 2008 elections, when Barack Obama came into the White House in '09, he
Mm.
had to bail out. He had to bail out the big three. We had the housing
I
crisis.
remember.
We had the
I
housing crisis.
remember.
He had to do it in order to save our economy. That is corporate welfare, my friends. These
Mm.
PPP loans that these companies just got.
Oh,
That is
right.
corporate welfare, my friends. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, all these people getting hundreds of thousands to $1 million and didn't have to pay it back, but yet you want to begrudge the American people of getting $10,000 to $20,000 to pay off some silly student loans. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
Hypocrites. These are some hypocrites, aren't they? I see why you gave President Biden that high rating, because with all of that going on, isn't it amazing how strong him and Kamala Harris have been in terms of standing up to these liars, these criminals out there in Congress? Now one last point I want to bring up. This has to do with President Biden's son. You know,
Oh, I love this
he's
topic.
been
I love this
indicted.
topic.
He's been indicted by the Biden DOJ. The corrupt Biden regime has indicted Hunter Biden. Uh, how would you describe, in your opinion, the way President Biden has responded to that and is handling that? Do you think President Biden's doing a good job in terms of how he responded to that?
Y'all, since this is the stadium of truth, I'm gonna be real. Can I be
Yeah,
real with you? Can I be real with you?
be, be
Joe
real. Now,
Biden,
Swerving already came in.
Joe Biden is a better man than I because after everything that we've seen with Donald Trump, If that were my
Mm,
son, I would have made that
mm.
investigation go away by now.
You
I'm
you
just
you would have used you would have used executive authority to get this investigation to go away on your son?
1,000%.
Mm, wow.
And guess
So
what? I
you're
didn't stutter.
saying you
I didn't
believe
stutter when I
you
said it.
believe you didn't stutter. I'm checking. You didn't stutter. You believe that President Biden is really staying out of this.
And you know what? I applaud him for that because it's not easy for a dad to sit there and watch his son, no matter how old they are. It's not easy for a dad to watch their son go through what he's going through when you know for a fact that no ordinary other citizen would be indicted
Mm,
for the same doggone thing.
mm. Especially knowing Biden has already lost a son. This is kind of a very sad thing for a father to have to deal with, right?
Oh, it is. And furthermore, the people who are so pro Second Amendment, they should be turning over out of their panties to see this indictment of Hunter Biden because it's on a gun charge. And
Mm,
so isn't the government infringing on Hunter's rights, his Second Amendment rights?
mm. Yeah,
So
they
where are they
really.
at? Where are the pro two-way people? Where are they?
Mm.
Why isn't no
Nowhere
one
to.
taking up for Hunter and his right to bear arms?
Mm,
Despite he did it while on drugs. Despite that,
mm, mm.
where are they?
Yeah, where are you, 2A folks? What do you think about the way Marjorie, is treating Hunter Biden? Do you think that's tough? That's a tough thing for President Biden to have to deal with too, to see his son being, shamed and humiliated in Congress like
Listen,
that.
listen. That Cruella Deville witch needs to go somewhere, go back to Georgia, and go 13 feet under
Oh,
because
ooh, this is.
her butt, her butt is about to get in a world of hurt when Hunter comes
Mm,
after her for revenge porn.
mm,
He is going to get her because it was displayed for the nation to see.
yeah,
And what
it
purpose
really.
did it serve? What purpose
Mm,
did it serve? She's gonna
mm,
she's gonna claim that she was acting in her capacity as a congressperson. The
mm,
devil. And the fact that the House GOP has not censured her for
mm,
showing porn on
mm,
the House floor.
mm.
It is a doggone crying shame because we know okay, Dark Nutty's trying to come out. I'm trying to contain him. We know, we know that the people on the right, when they saw Hunter's jump, they got happy and went back to their office for a quick break. The men and the women, because they were like, my goodness, they say white man can't jump, but this white man is carrying a package,
Oh, ooh.
and it
Y'all,
got
ladies, cut it out. Ladies,
it
cut
got
it
them
out.
it got them all excited, including the men in their fragility. It got them all excited too.
Oh, so that's why Snuggles is upset.
Yeah, well, I can't speak for Snuggles, but I'm just all I gotta say is they're really jealous of Hunter, especially the white
Mm,
men.
mm. This puts a pin on it quite well. Now I get it. Now I get all of the obsession with Hunter Biden. All right. And
They are
so,
obsessed because
well,
here's the deal.
the
So
flu
Hunter's
shot.
being indicted. Hunter's being indicted. Oh well. Oh well. I'm not gonna lose sleep over Hunter Biden being indicted. Can I sit here
Okay.
and say that I feel that it's unfair? Yes, I can. I feel that it's unfair that the Department of Justice is indicting Hunter Biden. I feel that is unfair because the Department of Justice would not come if his name was Hunter Johnson, Hunter Smith. But the fact that his name is Hunter Biden and he's the son of the president they absolute hate, This is why the Department of Justice is doing it. And Mayor Garland, if you're listening, I
Yeah,
love you, sir, but this is a mistake on your part. This is a
it
mistake
is.
because
You think Merrick Garland mishandled that?
I think he mishandled it by giving the prosecutor special counsel status because he had been
Mm,
investigating for 5 years and didn't request it until the House GOP said, "Oh, this is just a slap on the wrist. This is just a slap on the wrist."
mm.
So we can all see it.
Wow.
For 5 years, he did not request special counsel.
Wow.
So why now?
Mm,
It was because the House GOP and their little antics and complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining. They got
mm.
he got what he wanted. And Snuggles, you say the law is for all. I'm glad you said that because I agree with you. Then stop simping for Donald Trump. You out here
You got it.
simping. You out here simping for Donald Trump at the same time saying the law is for all. I agree with you, Snuggles. You are correct, Snuggles. The law is for all.
Yeah.
So stop simping for the orange orangutan.
Get him, Nutty. Well, listen, brother. What a great way to wrap up this episode of The Closet of Truth. This was a great one, right? It's for the history books. And I got to make sure, I thank you, for coming in and hitting it out of the park, my brother. All right.
Well, I appreciate you. And here's one more truth bomb before I leave.
Oh, what do
I
you got for us?
I am the most handsome person in the kingdom.
Did he get in trouble or Nutty? What happened? Nutty, what happened? Did you get in trouble? I didn't do it. My hands are here. I didn't do it. Something happened to him. The gods have spoken. Oh, you left before I got okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a great episode of The Closet of Truth. All right, we laughed today, we cried today, but we got to the truth nonetheless. All right, there was some muting and there was some blocking, but you know what? It's all fun and it's all part of the game, if you ask me. All right, so I thank every single one of you for tuning in to The Closet of Truth. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Stay safe wherever you are. All right, and on that note, we'll end with some music from Zeus. Let's go. What do I want to play? Hold on. We gotta end it on a better note than that. Let's go. I know.
Winter's coming.
All right, we're out of here. All right, have a good one. Yes, winter is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your afternoon, evening.
Focusing on improvement, you don't like what I am, but you like what I do. See me counting up all these numbers, seeing the way I am stuck up. Watch me count this money all up, watch me pile this money all up, watch me count this money all the way to the top.
Hey.
Mama picking and choosing, see me focusing on improvement. You don't like what I am, but you like what I do. See me counting up all these numbers. Better get to the top, cause the winter is coming. Running through the hood in the middle of the summer.
Good night.
Like this to give it 10. My own man's in my damn business. Reaching what I'm reaching. I've been working on the weekends. I can't talk to you no more. See me focus.
Yes, get your t-shirt.
Trying to keep this simple. While you focus on your mental. I can't play these games.
Winter is coming.
Playing on my I can't change what I am. I'ma be what I wanna be. I'ma keep a sackle.
Hey.
I'ma keep a sackle.
Winter's coming.
Fell in love with the money and the problems.
Hey.
Fell in love with the money and the
I got platinum cards and visas. See me stacking up playing defense. I got options. Give me a reason.
Why you selling just like a heathen? I ain't going to no more seasons. Why you checking up on the weekend? I ain't into playing games on the. You and your friends got me wrong. I'm not into back and forth. I don't want your credit score. You can keep your money cause I got my own and I got more. I don't want to be your friend. Keep me out that silly zone.
is coming. Yeah, October. We're gonna get those indictments. We're gonna get those convictions.
I can't change what I am. I'ma be what I wanna be. I'ma keep it